Peace and salute, everybody. I'm gonna do a different reading today, shorter one. Anyway, let's get started.
Jets on productions, you done know. This one's right here for once again, boy Jigger, Jets on productions, you done know. This one's right here for the pimp, Jig Tracy. And the bitch who's running around with the money, you better have my money. Yeah. It's funny how I love my life. Every first of the month you to change my wife, and I live till the end of days. My dudes run wild, they don't settle for that minimum wage, okay? Big Jig fresh home from the cage. OC bloodline, baby, turn that page. Hey, it's a new beginning. Fast cars, pretty women, and super villains. Baby, wait a minute. See, I'm caught up in it, and it's the bullshit you're kicking. I can't dig it, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm hungry, then I'm eating your food. How smooth, baby? Don't be scared, just relax. It's Jig Tracy. Got the pasta and the steak and the gravy. Waiting on the drop off from Zachy and the A3. Bitch, don't touch my money. The kids got rabies. F you, pay me. I mean, I'm real sincere about this. Bitch, better have my money. I'm so sincere, baby. Bitch, better have my money. I want every little bill. Sure ain't nothing funny. Give me that. Better give it to me. Yeah. It's funny how I'm making the pounds. Used to be OT when I was breaking them down. You hear that flow? That'll be the buzz. You guys give me hugs, but you really not cuz. Now that's what's up. Lay low to the fullest when I'm burning it up. Plenty of weed and plenty of sluts. You know your face look familiar. You're old school, but your words not similar. Must have been Jamelia. Exchange hugs and kisses. The only thing missing is the cherry red lipstick. I can't believe this bitch. She tried to cross me out like some Jesus flick. Can you believe this shit? Nah, I ain't working them out. I try to do the thing without working you out. Straight bounce, yeah, feels good like a summer bunny. Lay low, bitch, have my money. Not funny. I mean, I'm real sincere about this. Bitch, better have my money. I'm so sincere, baby. Bitch, better have my money. I want every little bill. Sure ain't nothing funny. Give me that. Better give it to me. Memories wasn't meant for me. Still thinking of the days you was meant for me. Yes indeed, can I please? Jigger boy needs space like bitch to breathe. Baby girl, come on, like a chick in a red phone. Try to work you out when you know that you're dead wrong. And now that you're dead gone, the picture painted. I try to hang it up, but the picture faded. You're like a rainbow in the sky. Your hair cut short and your skin tone fly. I've come to realize the girl's not mine. Like Michael Jackson, the boy's got a slide. Now exit stage left, I'll be back in the night. Large words out your mouth that you'll be alright, alright? Yeah, could've fooled me, honey. When you try to jump ship, spending next man's money. Yeah, I know you seen her. Tell me you seen her. Looking about 5'5", looking like Halle Berry. Pitty's real perky and shit. When you see her, tell her I want my goddamn money. Lay low, baby. Jigger. Great Digi.
Play one more.
The world's greatest mind, Bob
The RZA, Wicked Society.
Yo, try to cross-reference my upper preference. Fresh mint type length. You get trapped inside the monkey wrench. Ain't no damn lover ever gonna silk the sailor. I'm blessed like the seed who sucked the milk from the hellier. You wishing Shallon Allen could be swallowed up by the sea. Yo, the great Digi, the world's greatest mind, Bob Digital. Yo, try to cross-reference my upper preference, fresh mint type length. You get trapped inside the monkey wrench. Ain't no land lover ever gonna silk the sailor. I'm blessed like the seed who sucked the milk from the hellier. You wishing Shallon Allen could be swallowed up by the sea, gobbled up like the lost city of Moon, Atlantis. But I'm fierce as the cyclone winds that blew through Kansas. Have your clan stranded on the enchanted land of Gumas, Oz Dubar, Jim Blue Star, Razor Blade Scar. Who dare wanna spar bar for bar? Allah, you Akbar. I turned the most degenerate hood into a pop star. Blessed is he who prays the most high without asking why. Flicks from ocean shore, kick like martial law. I might strike with the eagle claw or tiger paw on the shores of African beach, facing the east. White sand stretched out as far as the eye can see. Bound belly by the sea. The heat of a lost sun will crack through Antarctica. We ride blue whales who sail Nautical ships on the Carpenter. We should send all these devils back to hell. You small as the die in my sentence. I speak with vengeance. Snatch up 17 million plus 2 million Indians. You're incorrect, bet your spec on the situation. You didn't know it was a Wu-Tang affiliation. Legs speak like twigs, you're forbidden like pig. You can't fuck with the zigzag zig. Raise your sword and praise the Lord. And raise the war on this wicked society. Raise your sword and praise the Lord. And raise the war on this wicked society. The village must be pillaged, the merciless. The earth is damp from blood spillage. Curse the ancestors and the seed of the assailant. Dissect his body like an alien. My seed must be spread. I bust sperm cells with bobsleds. Then race to the egg and bring forth the arm, leg, arm, head. All you niggas out there who got money better watch for the money hungry. Straight up. The most beloved from a region undiscovered. I've been hovered over by black buzzard walking through public. Imagine the feeling of growing up 10 children stuffed inside a shack in the project buildings. Women, infants, and coupons. One stove, Campbell soup on. Stressed out with 4 cans of water. Next door, the dope-fiend neighbor trying to sell his little daughter. Poisonous heat from the oven. The only way we had to live was surviving off mommy's loving. Dead bodies found in the incinerator. Lights out, somebody fuck with the generator. Talking welfare cheese, flakes and beans. Mud stains on mock necks, shirts and tainted jeans. Twisted up, how the fuck we get bended up and ended up in this 4-block radius where they enslaved us. Sweating for cheese raviolis with tomato sauce and anchovies spoiled. Aw shit, my blood boiled, but fuck that. I'm ready for open-hand combat. It's the Tomcat, and my thoughts are unlimited, inflicting fatal wounds. And I'm immune to your evil society. So praise the Lord and raise the war against this wicked society. Society. Praise the Lord and raise your sword against this wicked society. Society. Praise the Lord and raise your sword against this wicked society. There was a legend of a liquid sword that was only built for niggas with Cuban links who enter the 36 chamber and keep the true links. Inherit the W emblem, movement of muscle changing and bone tendon bending. Science of 25,000 year millennium. Descendants from the men who exiled the Indians from India, whose time can't be measured linear. In all tribes on earth, you can't find a friendlier group of people who shun all evil. Treat all men equal, even though we see through your wicked intentions. We gave you land to experiment with your inventions, but you strive for global lynching, extension. But it's the cell that will become extinct. You inherit this power to think and build things, the free will to love, not hate nor kill things. And when you went astray, we sent prophets to reveal things and left scriptures behind to fulfill things. But you still want to kill things, rob and steal things. So don't blame us when it's time to fulfill things and kill kings. Raise the sword and praise the Lord on this wicked society. Society. Raise your sword and praise the Lord. It's a wicked society. Society. Praise the Lord and raise your sword against this wicked society. Raise the war against this wicked society. Yo, the sickness. That's what I want.
What are you looking for? No mother.
That's what I want.
Peace to the gods and goddesses. I'm going to do a reading. It's going to be a short one. The mysteries of the apocalypse. I did a pre-recorded one of the human body, the symbolism of it, but for some reason it's not uploading, so I'll upload that later today. Let me lower my mic. Is it too loud, everyone? Anyway, I spoke to Lucid on the phone. After this reading, I'll talk more about it. But let me get started with this reading. Hold on. Make sure there's no disturbance from my wild lion kitty. So, clear my throat. Sip of this blueberry coffee. And let me get started. If anyone was late for class, you will be sent to ISS in school suspension. The mysteries of the apocalypse. It's only a couple pages, everyone. The presence of the temple of Diana at Ephesus, it's either Ephesus or Ephesus, marked that city as sacred to the mystery religion. For the seven wonders of the ancient world were erected to indicate the repositories of recondite knowledge of Ephesus. H.P. Blavatsky writes, quote, "It was a focus of the universal secret doctrines, the weird laboratory whence, fashioned in elegant Grecian phraseology, sprang the quintessence of Buddhistic, Zoroastrian, and Chaldean philosophy. Artemis, the gigantic concrete symbol of theosophico pantheistic abstractions, the great mother, multi-mama, androgynon, and patroness of the Ephesian writings, was conquered by Paul. But although the zealous converts of the apostles pretended to burn all their books on curious arts, enough of these remained for them to study when their first zeal had cooled off. Being a great center of pagan learning, Ephesus had been the local for many locale. I think it's local. I think it's locale. Been the locale for many early Christian myth. The assertion has been made that it was the last domicile of the Virgin Mary. Also, that the tomb of Saint John the Divine was located there. According to legend, Saint John did not depart from this life in the usual manner, but selecting his vault, entered and while still alive, and closing the entrance behind him, vanished forever from mortal sight. A rumor was current in ancient Ephesus that Saint John would sleep in his tomb until the return of the Savior, and that when the apostle turned over on his sepulchral couch, the earth above moved like the coverlet of a bed, more like a ripple effect. Subjected to more criticism than any other book now incorporated in the New Testament, the Apocalypse, popularly accredited to St. John the Divine, is by far the most important but least understood of the Gnostic Christian writings. Though Justin Martyr declared the book of Revelations to have been written by John, one of Christ's apostles, its authorship was disputed as early as the 2nd century after Christ. In the 3rd century, these contentions became acute, and even Dionysius of Alexandria and Eusebius, yeah, I think it's Eusebius, attacked the Johnny theory, declaring that both the book of Revelations and the Gospel according to St. John were written by one Cerinthus, who borrowed the name of the great apostle, the better to foist his own doctrines upon the Christians. Later, Jerome questioned the authorship of the Apocalypse, and during the Reformation, his objections were revived by Luther and Erasmus, or Erasmus. I think it's Erasmus. The one generally accepted notion that the book of Revelation was the actual record of a mystical experience occurring to St. John while that seer was in exile in the Isles of Parmus is now regarded with disfavor by more critical scholars. Other explanations have therefore been advanced to account for the symbolism permeating the volume and the original motive for its writing. The more reasonable of these theories may be summed up as follows. First, upon the weight of evidence furnished by its own context, the book of Revelation may well be pronounced a pagan writing, one of the sacred books of the Illusions or Illusions or Phrygian mysteries, as a corollary or wow, these words, corollary, yeah, as a corollary, we gotta look that word up. As a corollary, the real author of a work setting forth the profundities of Egyptian and Greek mysticism, but has been an initiate himself and consequently obligated to write only in the symbolic language of the mysteries. Second, it is possible that the book of Revelation was written to reconcile the seeming discrepancies between the early Christian and pagan religious philosophies. When the zealots of a primitive Christian church sought to Christianize pagandom, the pagan initiates retorted with a powerful effort to paganize Christianity. The Christians failed, but the pagans succeeded. With the decline of paganism, the initiated pagan hierophants transferred their base of operations to the new vehicle of primitive Christianity, adopting the symbols of the new cult to conceal those eternal verities which are ever the priceless possession of the wise. The Apocalypse shows clearly the resultant fusion of pagan and Christian symbolism, and thus bears irrefutable evidence of the activities of these initiated minds operating through early Christianity. Third, the theory has been advanced that the book of Revelation represents the attempt made by the unscrupulous members of a certain religious order to undermine the Christian mysteries by satirizing their philosophy. This nefarious end they hope to attain by showing the new faith to be merely a restatement of the ancient pagan doctrines, by heaping ridicule upon Christianity, and by using its own symbols toward its disparagement, I think that word is disparagement. For example, the star which fell to earth in Revelations 10 and 11 could be construed to mean the Star of Bethlehem, and the bitterness of that star, called wormwood, and which poisoned mankind, could signify the false teachings of the Christian church. While the last theory has gained a certain measure of popularity, the profundity of the Apocalypse leads the discerning reader to the inevitable conclusion that this is the least plausible of the three hypotheses. To those able to pierce the veil of its symbolism, the inspired source of the document requires no further corroboration evidence. In the final analysis, true philosophy can be limited by neither creed nor faction. In fact, it is incompatible with every artificial limitation of human thought. The question of pagan or Christian origin of the book of Revelation is consequently of little importance. The the intrinsic value of the book lies in its magnificent epitome of the universal mystery, an observation which led St. Jerome to declare that it is a successible of 7 entirely different interpretations. Untrained in the reaches of the ancient thought, the modern theologian cannot possibly cope with the complexities of the Apocalypse. For to him, this mystic writing is but a, wow, phanta or phantasmagoria, the divine inspiration of which he is sorely tempted to question. In the limited space here available, it is possible to sketch but briefly a few of the salient features of the vision of the seer of Patmos, or it's Patmos, someone correct me. A careful consideration of the various pagan mysteries will assist materially also in filling the inevitable gaps in this abridgment. In the opening chapter of the Apocalypse, St. John describes the Alpha and Omega, who stood in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks, surrounded by his flaming planetary regions. This sublime one, thus epitomizes in one impressive and mysterious figure the entire sweep of humanity's evolutionary growth, past, present, and future. The first stages of man's earthly development, writes Dr. Rudolf Steiner, quote, ran their course at a period when the earth was still fiery, and the first human incarnations were formed out of the element of fire. At the end of his earthly career, man will himself radiate his inner being outwards, creatively by the force of the element of fire. This continues development from the beginning to the end of the earth reveals itself to the seer when he sees on the astral plane the archetype of evolving man. The beginning of earthly evolution stands forth in the fiery feet. It ends in the fiery countenance and the complete power of the creative word. To be finally one is seen in the fiery source coming out of the mouth. In his restored New Testament, James Morgan Price traces the relationship of the various parts of the Alpha and Omega to the 7 sacred planets of the ancients, to quote, the Logos figure described is a composite picture of the 7 sacred planets. He has the snowy white hair of Kronos, father of time, the blazing eyes of wide-seeing Zeus, the sword of Arcs, the shining face of Helios, and the chitin and girdle of Aphrodite. His feet are of Mercury, the metal sacred to Hermes, and his voice is like the murmur of the ocean waves, the many waters, alluding to Selene, the moon goddess of the 4 seasons and of the waters. The 7 stars carried by immense being in his right hand are the governors of the world. The flaming sword issuing from his mouth is the creative fiat, or word of power, by which the illusion of material permanence is slain. Here also is represented, in all his symbolic splendor, the Hierophant of the Phrygian mysteries, his various insignia emblematic of divine attributes. 7 priests bearing lamps are his attendants, and the stars carried in his hand are the 7 schools of the mysteries, whose power he administers. As one born again out of spiritual darkness into perfect wisdom, this Archimagus is made to say, I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen, or Amen, and have the keys of hell and to death. In the second and third chapters, St. John delivers to the 7 churches which are in Asia the injunctions received by him from Alpha and Omega. The churches are here analogous to the rungs of a Mithraic ladder, and John, being in the spirit, ascended through the orbits of the 7 sacred planets until he reached the inner surface of the Empyrean, Empyrean, Empyrean. After the soul of the prophet, writes the anonymous author of mankind, their origin and destiny, in his ecstatic state has passed in its rapid flight through the 7 spheres, from the sphere of the moon to that of Saturn, or from the planet which corresponds to Cancer, the gate of men, to that of Capricorn, which is the gate of the gods. A new gate opens to him in the highest heaven and in the zodiac, beneath which the 7 planets revolve, and a word in the firmament, or that which the ancients called crystallinium primum, or the crystal heaven. When related to the Eastern system of metaphysics, these churches represent the chakras or nerve ganglia, along the human spine, the door in heaven being the Brahma Randra, or point in the crown of the skull, the Golgotha, through which the spinal spirit fires passes to liberation. The church of Ephesus corresponds to the Muladhara, or sacral ganglion, and the other churches to the higher ganglia, according to the order given in Revelation. Dr. Steiner discovers a relationship between the 7 churches and the divisions of the Aryan race. Thus, the Church of Ephesus stands for the Arch-Indian branch, the Church of Smyrna, or Smyrna, the Arch-Persians, the Church of Pergamos, the Chaldean Egyptian Semitic, the Church of Thyatira, the Grecan Latin Roman, and the Church of Sardis, the Teuton Anglo-Saxon, the Church of Philadelphia, the Slavic, and the Church of Laodicea, and the Manichaean. The 7 churches also signify the Greek vowels, of which Alpha and Omega are the first and the last. A difference of opinion exists as to the order in which the 7 planars should be related to the churches. Some proceed from the hypothesis that Saturn represents the church of Ephesus, but from the fact that the city was sacred to the moon goddess, and also that the sphere of the moon is the first above that of the earth. The planets obviously should ascend in their ancient order from the moon to Saturn. From Saturn, the soul would naturally ascend through the door in the Empyrean. In the 4th and 5th chapters, St. John describes the throne of God, upon which sat the Holy One, which was and is to come. About the throne were 24 lesser seats, upon which sat 24 elders arrayed in white garments and wearing crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightning and thundering and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. He who sat upon the throne held his right hand a book sealed with 7 seals, which no man in heaven or earth had been found worthy to open. Then appeared a lamb, Aries, the first and chief of the zodiacal signs, which had been slain, having 7 horns or rays, and 7 eyes which were lights. The Lamb took the book from the right hand of him that sat upon the throne, and the 4 beasts and all the elders fell down and worshipped God and the Lamb. During the early centuries of the Christian church, the Lamb was universally recognized as the symbol of Christ, and not until after the 5th Synod of Constantinople, the Quinsext Synod, was 692 AD, was the figure of the crucified man substituted for that of Agnus Dei. As shrewdly noted by one writer on the subject, the use of the lamb is indicative of the Persian origin of Christianity, for the Persians were the only people to symbolize the first sign of the zodiac by a lamb. Because a lamb was the sin offering of the ancient pagans, the early mystic Christians considered this animal as an appropriate emblem of Christ, whom they regarded as the sin offering of the world. The Greeks and the Egyptians highly venerated the lamb or ram, often placing its horns upon the foreheads of their gods. The Scandinavian god Thor carried a hammer made from a pair of ram horns. The lamb is used in preference to the ram apparently because of its purity and gentleness. Also, since the Creator himself was symbolized by Aries, his son would consequently be the little ram or lamb. The lambskin apron worn by the Freemasons over the part of the body symbolized by Typhon or Judas represents the purification of the generative process, which is a prerequisite to true spirituality. In this allegory, the lamb signifies the purified candidate, its 7 horns representing the divisions of illuminated reason, and its 7 eye, the chakra, or perfected sense perceptions. The 6th to 11th chapters, including, are devoted to an account of the opening of the 7 seals on the book held by the Lamb. When the first seal was broke, there rode forth a man on a white horse wearing a crown and holding in his hand a bow. When the second seal was broken, there rode forth a man upon a red horse, and in his hand was a great sword. When the third seal was broken, there rode forth a man upon a black horse, and with a pair of balances in his hand. And when the fourth seal was broken, there rode forth death upon a pale horse, and hell followed after him. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse may be interpreted to signify the 4 main divisions of human life. Birth is represented by the rider on the white horse, who comes forth conquering and to conquer. The impetuosity of youth. Impetuosity of youth by the rider on the red horse, who took peace from the earth. Maturity by the rider on the black horse, who weighs all things in the scales of reason. And death by the rider on the pale horse, who was given power over a 4th part of the earth. In the Eastern philosophy, these horsemen signify the 4 yugas or ages of the world, which riding forth at their appointed times become for a certain span the rulers of creation. Commenting on the 24th allocution. Oh no, it's allocution, sorry. Commenting on the 24th allocution of Christendom and the origin of all religious worship, Dupuis notes that each of the 4 elements was represented by a horse bearing the name of the god who is set over the element. The first horse signifies the fire ether, was called Jupiter and occupied the highest place in the order of the elements. This horse was winged, very fleet, and, describing the largest circle, encompassed all the others, and shone with the purest light, and on his body were the images of the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the bodies in the etherical regions. The second horse signifies the element of air, was Juno. It was inferior to the horse of Jupiter and described a smaller circle. Its color was black, but that part exposed the sun became luminous, thus signifying the diurnal and nocturnal conditions of air. The third horse symbolizes the element of water, was sacred to Neptune. It was of heavy diet and described a very small circle. The fourth horse, signifying the static element of earth, described as immovable and champing its bit, was the steed of Vesta. Despite their differences in temperature, these four horses lived together, which is in accord with the principle of the philosophers who declared the world to be preserved by the concord and harmony of its elements. In time, however, the racing horse of Jupiter burned the mane of the horse of Earth. The thundering steed of Neptune also became covered with sweat, which overflowed the immovable horse of Vesta and resulted in a deluge of Deucalion, I think it's Deucalion, the deluge of Deucalion, I could be wrong. At last, the fiery horse of Jupiter will consume the rest, when the three inferior elements, purified by reabsorption in the fiery ether, will come forth renewed, constituting a new heaven and a new earth. When the fifth seal was opened, St. John beheld those who had died for the word of God. When the sixth seal was broken, there was a great earthquake, the sun being darkened and the moon becoming like blood. The angels of the winds came forth, and also another angel, who sealed up their foreheads 144,000 of the children of Israel, that they should be preserved against the awful day of tribulation. By adding the digits together, according to the Pythagorean system, a numerical philosophy, the number 144,000 is reduced to 9, the mystic symbol of man, and also the number of initiation. For he who passes through the 9 degrees of mysteries receives the sign of the cross as emblematic of his regeneration and liberation from the bondage of his own infernal or inferior nature. The addition of these three ciphers to the original sacred number, 1.44, indicates the elevation of the mystery to the third sphere. When the seventh seal was broken, there was silence for the space of half an hour. Then came forth 7 angels, and to each was given a trumpet. When the 7 angels sounded their trumpets, intoned the 7-lettered name of the Logos. Great catastrophes ensued. A star, which was called Wormwood, fell from the heaven, thereby signifying the secret doctrine of the ancients had been given to the men who had profaned it and caused the wisdom of God to become a destructive agency. And another star, symbolizing the false light of human reason, as distinguished from the divine reason of the initiate, fell from heaven, and to it, materialistic reason was given to the key to the bottomless pit, nature, which it opened, causing all manner of evil creatures to issue forth. And there came also a mighty angel who was clothed in a cloud, whose face was as the sun, and his feet and legs as pillars of fire, and one foot was upon the waters, and the other upon the land. The Hermetic Anthropos This celestial being gave St. John a little book, bidding him eat it, which the seer did. The book is representative of the secret doctrine, that spiritual food, which is the nourishment of the spirit. And St. John, being in the spirit, ate his fill of wisdom of God, and the hunger of his soul was appeased. The 12th, it says 12th, the 12th chapter treats of great wonder appearing in the heavens, a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. This woman represents the constellation of Virgo and also the Egyptian Isis, who, about to be delivered of her son Horus, is attacked by Typhon, the latter attempting to destroy the child, predestined by the gods to slay the spirit of evil. The war in heaven relates to the destruction of the planet Ragnarok, and to fall of the angels, and the fall of the angels. The Virgin can be interpreted to signify the secret doctrine itself, and her son, the initiate born out of the womb of the mysteries. The spirit of evil, thus personified in the great dragon, attempted to control mankind by destroying the mother of those illuminated souls who have labored unceasingly for the salvation of the world. Wings were given to the mysteries, the Virgin, and they flew into the wilderness, and the evil dragon tried to destroy them with the flood of false doctrine. But the earth oblivion swallowed up the false doctrines, and the mysteries endured. The 13th chapter describes a great beast which rose out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Faber sees in this amphibious monster the demiurgus, or creator of the world, rising out of the ocean of chaos, while most interpreters of the apocalypse consider the various beasts described therein as typical of evil agencies. This viewpoint is the inevitable result of unfamiliarity with the ancient doctrines from which the symbolism of the book is derived. Astronomically, the great monster rising out of the sea is the constellation of Cetus, the whale, because religious ascetics looked upon the universe itself as an evil and ensnaring fabrication. They also came to regard its very creator as a weaver of delusion. Thus, the great sea monster, the world, and its maker, the demiurgus, whose strength is derived from the dragon of cosmic power, came to be personified as a beast of horror and destruction, seeking to swallow up the immortal part of human nature. The 7 heads of the monster represents the 7 stars or spirits composing the constellation of the Great Dipper, called by the Hindus Rishis, or cosmic creative spirits. The 10 horns, Faber relates to the 10 primordial patriarchs. These may also denote the ancient zodiac of 10 signs. The number of the beast, 666, is an interesting example of the use of Kabbalism in the New Testament and among early Christian mystics. In the following table, Kircher shows that the names of Antichrist are given by Irenaeus, all have 666 as their numerical equivalent. And yeah, I have to show this after. I can't I'll show it now real quick. This is the thing they show you, the table in the book. Whatever that means, and there's letters over here. You want to pause it and look at it. James Morgan Price also notes that according to this method of figuring, the Greek term, oh man, here we go. These Greek terms, I don't even know what that says, which signifies the lower mind, had 666 as its numerical equivalent. It is also well known to Kabbalists that Jesus, it's written in Greek, has for its numerical value another sacred and secret number, 888. Adding the digits of the 666 and again adding the digits of the sum gives the sacred number 9, the symbol of man in his unregenerate state and also the path of his resurrection. The 14th chapter opens with the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, the eastern horizon. About him gathered the 144,000 with the name of God written in their foreheads. An angel thereupon announces the fall of Babylon, the city of confusion and worldliness. Those perish who do not overcome worldliness and enter into the realization that spirit and not matter is enduring. For having no interest other than those which are material, they are swept to destruction with the material world. And St. John beheld one like unto the Son of Man, Perseus, riding upon a cloud, the substance of the invisible world, and bearing in his hand a sharp sickle. With this sickle the Shining One reaped the earth. This is a symbol of the initiator releasing into the sphere of reality the higher natures of those who, symbolized by ripened grain, have reached a point of liberation. And there came another angel, Boots, death, also with a sickle, Karma, who reap the vines of the earth, those who have lived by the false light, and cast them into the winepress of the wrath of God, the purgatorial spheres. The 15th to 18th chapters, inclusive, contain an account of 7 angels, the Pleiades, who poured their vials upon the earth. The contents of their vials, the loosened energy of the cosmic bowl, are called the 7 last plagues. Here also is introduced a symbolic figure termed the harlot of Babylon, which is described as a woman seated upon a scarlet-colored beast, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and beckoned with gold, precious stones, and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations. This figure may be an effort, probably interpolated, to vilify Cybele or Artemis, the great mother goddess of antiquity, because the pagans venerated the Mater Deorum through symbols appropriate to the feminine generative principle. They were accused by the early Christians of worshiping a courtesan. As nearly all the ancient mysteries included a test of the neophytes, I think that's the neophytes, moral character, the temptress, the animal soul is here portrayed as a pagan goddess. In the 19th and 20th chapters is set forth the preparation of the mystical sacrament called the marriage of the Lamb. The bride is the soul of the neophyte, which attains conscious immortality by uniting itself to its own spiritual source. The heavens opened once more, and St. John saw a white horse, and the rider, the illumined mind, which sat upon it was called Faithful and True. Out of his mouth issued a sharp sword, and the armies of heaven followed after him. Upon the plains of heaven was fought the mystic Armageddon, the last great war between light and darkness. The force of evil under the Persian Ahriman battled against the forces of good under Ahura Mazda. Evil was vanquished, and the beast and the false prophet cast into the lake of fiery brimstone. Satan was bound for 1,000 years, then followed the last judgment. The books were opened, including the book of life. The dead were judged, according to their works, and those whose names were not in the book of life were cast into the sea of fire. To the to the to the neophyte, Armageddon represents the last struggle between the flesh and the spirit. When finally overcoming the world, the illumined souls rises to union with the spiritual self. The judgment signifies the weighing of the soul and was borrowed from the mysteries of Osiris. The rising of the dead from their graves and from the sea of illusion represents the consummation of the process of human regeneration. The sea of fire into which those are cast who fail in the ordeal of initiation signifies the fiery sphere of the animal world. In the 21st and 22nd chapters are pictured the new heaven and the new earth to be established at the close of Ahriman's reign. St. John, carried in the spirit to the great and high mountain, the brain, beheld the new Jerusalem descending as a bride, adorned for her husband. The holy city represents the regenerated and perfected world, the true ashlar of the mason. For the city was a perfect cube, it being written, the length and the breadth, and the height of it are equal. The foundation of the holy city consists of 144 stones in 12 rows, from which it is evident that the New Jerusalem represents the microcosm, patterned after the greater universe in which it stands. The 12 gates of this symbolic do, do, dodecahedron, there we go. The 12 gates of this symbolic dodecahedron are signs of the zodiac, through which the celestial golden streets are the streams of the spiritual light, along with the initiate passes on his path towards the sun. There is no material temple in that city, for God and the Lamb are the temple, and there is neither sun nor moon, for God and the Lamb are the light. The glorified and spiritualized initiate is here depicted as a city. The city will ultimately be united with the Spirit of God and absorbed into the divine effulgency. And St. John beheld a river, the water of life, which proceeded out of the throne of the Lamb. The river represents the stream pouring from the first Logos, which is the life of all things and the active cause of all creation. There also was the tree of life, the Spirit, bearing 12 manner of fruit, whose leaves were for the healing of the nations. By the tree is also represented the year, which every month yields some good for the maintenance of existing creatures. Jesus then tells St. John that he is the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and the morning star Venus. St. John concludes with the words, "The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. Amen." I could keep going and do the faith of Islam. It's only 2 pages. Let me know if you want me to do the faith of Islam. The first person to give me an answer, that's what it'll be. Somebody. It's probably going to show up late, whoever answers me first. I think there's a delay. I might just, alright, you said it, Deion Sandals, I'll do it. And you know what's crazy? I didn't want to read from the beginning, but now I'm on the roll. And while I'm on the roll, I might as well roll. So, we're going to do the faith of Islam. We'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Or shall I say, yeah. We'll kill the two-headed bird with one stone. Oops. The faith of Islam, representative of the attitude of Christendom towards Islam, till recent years at least, is Alexander Ross' postscript to the Anglicized version, published in 1649, so they say, of Sire du Rayer's French translation of the Quran. The author of the postscript directs the following invective against Muhammad and the Quran. Good reader, the great Arabian impostor, now at last, after 1,000 years, is by the way of France arrived in England, and his Alcoran, or Gallimafry of errors, a brat as deformed as the parent, and as full of heresies as his scald head was of scurvy, hath learned to speak English. If you will take a brief view of the Alcoran, you shall find it a hodgepodge made up of these four ingredients: 1. Of contradictions, 2. Of blasphemy, 3. Of ridiculous fables, and 4. Of lies. The accusation of blasphemy is emphasized against Muhammad because he affirmed that God, being unmarried, was incapable of having a son. The fallacious argument, however, is apparent from the prophet's own views of nature, of God as contained in the second surah of the Quran. To Allah, God, belongeth the east and the west. Therefore, whithersoever ye turned yourselves to pray, there is the face of Allah, for Allah is omnipresent and omniscient. They say Allah hath begotten children. Allah forbid. To him belongeth whatever is in heaven and on earth. All is possessed by him, the creator of heaven and earth. And when he decreeth a thing, he only saith unto it, be, and it is. In other words, the God of Islam has but to desire, and the object of that desire as once comes into being, whereas the God of Alexander Ross must proceed in accord with the laws of human generation. Muhammad, prophet of Islam, the desired of all nations, was born in Mecca, AD 570, and has a question mark, and died in Medina, AD 632. Or in the 11th. Year after the Hegera, Washington Irving thus described the signs and wonders accompanying the birth of the prophet. His mother suffered none of the pangs of travail. His mother suffered none of the pangs of travail. At the moment of his coming into the world, a celestial light illumined the surrounding country, and the newborn child, raising his eyes to heaven, exclaimed, God is great. There is no God but God, and I am his prophet. Heaven and earth, we are assured, were agitated at his advent. The lake Sawa shrank back into the secret springs, leaving its borders dry, while the Tigris, bursting its bounds, overflowed the neighboring lands. The place of Khosru, the king of Persia, shook tea on its foundations, and several of its towers were toppled to the earth. In the same eventful night, the sacred fire of Zoroaster, which guarded by the Magi, had burned without interruption for upward of 1,000 years, was suddenly extinguished, and all the idols in the world fell down. While the prophet was still but a toddling babe, the angel Gabriel with 70 wings came to him, and cutting open the child withdrew the heart. This Gabriel cleansed of the black drop of original sin, which is in every human heart because of the perfidy of Adam, and then returned the organ to its proper place in the prophet's body. In his youth, Muhammad traveled with the Mecca. In the youth, Muhammad traveled with the Meccan caravans. On one occasion, acted as armor bearer for his uncle, and spent a considerable time among the Bedouins, from whom he learned many of the religious and philosophic traditions of ancient Arabia. While traveling with his uncle, Abu Talib, Muhammad contacted the Nestorian Christians, having encamped on a certain night near one of their monasteries. Here the young prophet-to-be secured much of his information concerning the origin and doctrines of the Christian faith. With the passing years, Muhammad attained marked success in business, and when about 26 years old, married one of his employees, a wealthy widow, nearly 15 years his senior. The widow, Kajia by name, was apparently somewhat mercenary for finding her young business manager most efficient. She resolved to retain him in that capacity for life. Kajia was a woman of exceptional mentality, and her integrity and devotion must be ascribed the early success of the Islamic cause. By his marriage, Muhammad was elevated from a position of comparative poverty to one of the great wealth and power, and so exemplary was his conduct that he became known throughout Mecca as the faithful and true. Muhammad would have lived and died and honored and respected Meccan had he not unhesitatingly sacrificed both his wealth and social position in the service of the God whose voice he heard while meditating in the cavern of Mount Hura in the mouth of Ramadan. Year after year, Muhammad climbed the rocky and desolate slopes of Mount Hura, since called Jebel Nur, the mountain of light, and here in his loneliness cried out to God to reveal anew the pure religion of Adam, that spiritual doctrine lost to mankind through the dissensions of religious factions. Khadijah, solicitous over her husband's ascetic practice, which were impairing his physical health, sometimes accompanied him in his weary vigil, and with womanly intuition sensed the travel of his soul. At last, one night in the 40th year, as he lay upon the floor of the cavern, enveloped in his cloak, a great light burst upon him. Overcome with a sense of perfect peace and understanding in the blessedness of the celestial presence, he lost consciousness. When he came to himself again, the angel Gabriel stood over him, exhibiting a silken shawl with mysterious characters traced upon it. From these characters, Muhammad gained the basic doctrines later embodied in the Quran. Then Gabriel spoke in a clear and wonderful voice, declaring Muhammad to be the prophet of the living God. In awe and trembling, Muhammad hastened to Khadijah, fearing the vision to have been inspired by the same evil spirits who served the pagan magicians, who greatly despised by him. Khadijah assured him that his own virtuous life would be his protection, and that he need fear no evil. Thus, reassured, the prophet awaited further visitations from Gabriel. When these did not come, however, Such a despair filled his soul that he attempted self-destruction, only to be stopped in the very act of casting himself over a cliff by the sudden reappearance of Gabriel, who again assured the prophet that the revelations needed by his people would be given to him as necessity arose. Excuse me. Damn. Let me get something to drink. Hold up. Possibly as a result of his lonely periods of meditation, Muhammad seemingly was subject to ecstatic swoons. On the occasions when the various surahs of the Quran were dictated, he is said to have fallen unconscious, and regardless of the chill of the surrounding air, to have been covered with beads of perspiration. Often these attacks came without warning, as other times he would sit wrapped in the blanket to prevent a chill from the copious perspiration, and while apparently unconscious, would dictate the various passages with a small circle of trusted friends, would either commit to memory or reduce to writing. On one occasion, in later life, Bekr, when Abu Bekr, spelled B-E-K-R, I don't know what that is, referred to the gray hairs in his beard, Muhammad lifting the end of his beard and looking at it, declared its whiteness to be due to the physical agony attendant upon his periods of inspiration. And the writing attributed to Muhammad be considered as merely the hallucinations of the epileptic and for that reason discounted. His Christian detractors should beware lest with the doctrines of the prophet they also undermine the very teachings which they themselves affirm. For many of the disciples, apostles, and saints of the early church are known to have been subject to nervous disorders. Muhammad's first convert was of his own wife, Khadijah, who was followed by the other members of his immediate family, a circumstance which moves Sir William Murr to note, quote, "It is strongly corroborative of Muhammad's sincerity that the earliest converts to Islam were not only of upright character, but his own bosom friends and people of his household, whom intimately acquainted with his private life could not fail otherwise to have detected those discrepancies which ever more or less exist between the professions of the hypocritical deceiver abroad and his actions at home." Among the first to accept the faith of Islam was Abu Bekr, or Bek, who became Muhammad's closest and most faithful friend, in fact his alter ego. Abu Bek, a man of brilliant attainments, contributed materially to the success of the Prophet's enterprise, and in accord with the express wish of the Prophet became the leader of the faithful after Muhammad's death. Aisha, the daughter of Abu Bek, later became the wife of Muhammad, thus still further cementing the bond of fraternity between the two men. Whoa. Quietly, but industriously, Muhammad promulgated his doctrines among a small circle of powerful friends. When the enthusiasm of his followers finally forced his hand and he publicly announced his mission, he was already the leader of a strong and well-organized faction. Fearing Muhammad's growing prestige, the people of Mecca, waiving the time-honored tradition that blood could not be within the holy city, decided to exterminate Islam by assassinating the Prophet. All the different groups combined in the undertaking so that the guilt for the crime might thereby be more evenly distributed. Discovering the danger in time, Muhammad left his friend Ali in his bed and fled with Abu Bakr from the city. And after adroitly eluding the Meccans, joined the main body of his followers that had preceded him to Yathrib, afterwards called Medina. Upon this incident, called the Hegura or flight, is based the Islamic chronological system. Dating from the Hegura, the power of the Prophet steadily grew until in the 8th year Muhammad entered Mecca after practically a bloodless victory and established it as the spiritual center of his faith. Planting his standard to the north of Mecca, he rode into the city and after circling 7 times the sacred Kaaba, ordered the 360 images within its pre presence presence. I didn't know that's how you spelled presence. Within its presence to be hewn down. Hold on. After circling 7 times the sacred Kaaba, ordered the 360 images within its presence to be hewn down. He then entered the Kaaba itself, cleansed it of its idolatrous associations, and rededicated the structure to Allah, the monotheistic God of Islam. Muhammad next granted amnesty to all the enemies for their attempts to destroy him. Under his protection, Mecca increased in power and glory, becoming the focal point of a great annual pilgrimage, which even to this day winds across the desert in the months of pilgrimage and numbers over 300,000 in its train. In the 10th year after the Hegura, Muhammad led the valid victory pilgrimage and for the last time rode at the head of the faithful along the sacred way leading to Mecca in the Black Stone. As the premonition of death was strong upon him, he desired this pilgrimage to be the perfect model for all the thousands that would follow. Conscious that life was waning away within him, writes Washington Irving, Muhammad, during this last sojourn in the sacred city of his faith, sought to engrave his doctrines deeply in the minds and hearts of the followers. For this purpose he preached frequently in the Kaaba from the pulpit or in the open air from the back of his camel. Listen to my words, would he say, for I know not whether after this year we shall ever meet here again. O my hearers, I am but a man like yourselves. The angel of death may at any time appear, and I must obey his summons. While thus preaching, the very heavens are said to have opened, and the voice of God spoke, saying, This day I have perfected your religion, and accomplished in you my grace. When these words were uttered, the multitude fell down in fell down in adoration, and even Muhammad's camel knelt. Having completed the valedictory pilgrimage, Muhammad returned to Medina. In the 7th year after the Hegura, AH 7, an attempt was made at Khabar to poison the Prophet. As Muhammad took the first mouthful of the poisoned food, the evil design was revealed to him either by the taste of the meat or, as the faithful believed, by the divine insertion. He had already swallowed a small portion of the food, however, and for the remainder of his life suffered almost constantly from the effects of the poison. In AH 11, when his final illness came upon him, Muhammad insisted that the subtle effects of the poison were the indirect cause of his approaching end. It is related that during his last sickness, he rose one night and visited a burial ground on the outskirts of Medina, eventually believing that he too would soon be numbered with the dead. At this time, he told an attendant that the choice had been offered him of continuing his physical life or going to his Lord, and that he had chosen to meet his Maker. Muhammad suffered greatly with his end in sight and also from fever, but on June 8th seemed convalescent. He joined his followers in prayer and seating himself in the courtyard, delivered a lecture to the faithful in a clear and powerful voice. Apparently, he overtaxed his strength, for it was necessary to assist him into the house of Aisha, which opened into the court of the mosque. Here upon a tough pallet laid on the bare floor, the Prophet of Islam spent his last 2 hours on earth. When she saw that her aged husband was suffering intense pain, Aisha, then but a girl of 20, lifting the gray head of the man she had known from infancy, and who must have seemed more like a father than a husband, supported him in her arms until the end. Feeling that death was upon him, Muhammad prayed, O Lord, I beseech thee, assist me in the agonies of death. Then almost in a whisper he repeated 3 times, Gabriel, come close unto me. In the Hero as Prophet, Thomas Carlyle writes thus of the death of Muhammad, quote, his last words were a prayer, broken ejaculations of a heart struggling up in trembling hope towards its maker. Muhammad was buried under the floor of the apartment in which he died. The present condition of the grave is thus described. Above the hurrah is a green dome surmounted by a large gilt crescent springing from a series of globes. Within the building are tombs of Muhammad, Abu Bakr, and Umar, with a space reserved for the grave of our Lord Jesus Christ, who Muslims say will again visit the earth and die and be buried at Al-Madinah. The grave of Fatima, the Prophet's daughter, is supposed to be in a separate part of the building, although some say she is buried in Baqi. I might have said that wrong. The Prophet's body is said to be stretched full length on the right side, with the right palm supporting the right cheek. And the right checks. The face fronting Makkah. Close behind him is placed Abu Bakr, whose face fronts Muhammad's shoulder, and then Umar, to the effect that Mohammedans believe the coffin of their prophet to be suspended in the air, which has no foundation whatever in Muslim literature, and Naibur, I'm saying this wrong, thinks the story must have arisen from the rude pictures sold to strangers. Concerning the character of Muhammad, there have been the grossest misconceptions. No evidence exists to support the charges of extreme cruelty and licentiousness laid at his door. On the other hand, the more closely the life of Muhammad is scrutinized by dispassionate investigators, the more apparent become the finer qualities of his nature. In the words of Carlyle, Muhammad himself, after all that can be said about him, was nor a sensual man. We so err widely if we consider this man as a common voluptuary, intent mainly on base enjoyments, nay, on enjoyments of any kind. His household was of the frugalest, his common diet barely bread and water, sometimes for months There was not a fire once lighted on his hearth. A poor, hard-working, ill-provided man, careless of what vulgar man toiled for. They called him a prophet, you say, while he stood there face to face with them. They're not enshrined in any mystery, visibly clouding his own cloak, cobbling his own shoes, fighting, counseling, ordering in the midst of them. They must have seen what kind of man he was. Let him be called what you like. No emperor with his tyrus was obeyed as this man in a cloak of his own clouding. Confused by the apparently hopeless task of reconciling the life of the prophet, the absurd statements long accepted as authentic, Washington Irving weighs him in scales of fairness. His military triumphs awaken no pride nor vainglory, vainglory, as they would have done had they been effected for selfish purposes. In the time of his great power, he maintained the same simplicity of manners and appearances as in the purpose. In the time of his great power, he maintained the same simplicity of manners and appearances as in the days of his adversity. It is the perfect abnegation of self, connected with the apparent heartfelt piety running throughout the various phases of his fortune, with perplexed one in forming a just estimate of Muhammad's character. When he hung over the deathbed of his infant son Abraham, resignation to the will of God was exhibited in his conduct under the nearest of afflictions, and the hope of soon rejoining his child in paradise was his consolation. Aisha questioned after the death of the Prophet concerning his habits, replied that he mended his own clothes, cobbled his own shoes, and helped her in the household duties. How far removed from Western concepts of Muhammad's sanguinary character is Aisha's simple admission that he loved most of all to sew. He also accepted the invitations of slaves and sat at meals with servants, declaring himself to be a servant. Of all vices, he hated lying the most. Before his death, he freed all his slaves. He never permitted his family to use for personal ends any of the alms or the money given by his people. He was fond of sweetmeats and used rainwater for drinking purposes. His time he divided into three parts, namely, the first he gave to God, the second to his family, and the third to himself. The latter portion, however, he later sacrificed to the service of his people. He dressed chiefly in white, but also wore red, yellow, and green. Muhammad entered Mecca wearing a black turban and bearing a black standard. He wore only the plainest of garments, declaring that rich and conspicuous raiment did not become the pious, and did not remove his shoes at prayer. He was particularly concerned with the cleanliness of his teeth, and at the time of his death, when he when too weak to speak, indicated his desire for a toothpick. When fearful of his forgetting something, the prophet tied a thread to his ring. When once had a very fine gold ring, but noting that his followers had taken to wearing similar rings in emulation of him, he removed his own and threw it away, lest his followers form an evil habit. The most frequent and apparently the most damaging accusation brought against Muhammad is that of polygamy. Those who sincerely believe the harem to be irreconcilable with spirituality should with consistency oops move for the expurgation of the Psalms of David and the Proverbs of Solomon from the list of inspired writings. For the harem of Islam's prophet was insignificant compared with his maintained by Israel's wisest king and the reputed favorite of the Most High. The popular conception that Muhammad taught that women had no soul and could not attain heaven only through marriage is not substantiated by the words and attitude of the Prophet during his lifetime. In the paper entitled The Influence of Islam in Social Conditions, read at the World Parliament of Religions held in Chicago in 1893, Muhammad Webb states, the charges and answers it thus quote, it has been said that Muhammad and the Quran denied a soul to women and ranked her with the animals. The Quran places her on a perfect and complete equality with man, and the Prophet's teachings often place her in a position superior to the male in some respects. Mr. Webb justifies his stand by quoting from the 35th verse of the 33rd surah of the Quran. Verify the Muslims of either sex, and the true believers of either sex, and the devout men and the devout women, and the men of veracity, and the women of veracity, and the patient men and the patient women, and the humble men and the humble women, and the alms givers of either sex, and the men who fast and the women who fast, and the chaste men and the chaste women, and those of either sex who remember Allah frequently. For them hath Allah prepared forgiveness and a great reward. Here the attainment of heaven is clearly set forth as a problem whose only solution is that of individual merit. On the day of his death, Muhammad told Fatima, his beloved daughter, and Safiya, his aunt, work ye out of which shall gain acceptance for you with the Lord. For I verily have no power with him to save you in any wise. The Prophet did not advise either woman to rely upon the virtues of of her husband, nor in any manner did he indicate women's salvation to be dependent upon the human virility of her spouse. Everything to the contrary, notwithstanding, Muhammad is not responsible for the contradictions and inconsistencies in the Quran, for the volume was not complied and did not assume its present form until over 20 years after his death. In its present state, the Quran is, for the major part, a jumble of heresy, through which occasionally shines forth an example of true inspiration. From what is known of the man Muhammad, it is reasonable to suppose that these nobler and finer portions represent the actual doctrines of the Prophet. The remainder are obvious interpolations, some arising from misunderstanding, and the others direct forgeries calculated to satisfy the temporal ambitions of conquering Islam. On this subject, Godfrey Higgins speaks with his usual perspicacity. Quote, here we have the Quran of Muhammad and the first four sincere and zealous patriarchs, and the Quran of the conquering and magnificent Saracens, puffed up with pride and vanity. The Quran of the eclectic philosopher was not likely to suit the conquerors of Asia. A new one must be grafted on the old to find a justification for their enormities. To the discerning few, it is evident that Muhammad had a knowledge of that secret doctrine, which must needs constitute the core of every great philosophical, religious, or ethical institution. Through one of the four possible avenues, Muhammad may have contacted the ancient mystery teachings. One, through direct contact with the great school in the invisible world. Two, through the Nestorian Christian monks. Three, through the mysteries, holy man who appeared and disappeared at frequent intervals during the period in which the surahs of the Quran were revealed. Four, through a decadent school already existing in Arabia, which school, in spite of its lapse into idolatry, still retained the secrets of the ancient wisdom cult. The arcana of Islam may yet be demonstrated to have been directly founded upon the ancient pagan mysteries performed at the Kaaba centuries before the birth of the Prophet. In fact, it is generally admitted many of the ceremonials now embodied in the Islamic mysteries are survivals of pagan Arabia. The feminine principle is repeatedly emphasized in Islamic symbolism. For example, Friday, which is a sacred to the holy planar Venus, is the Muslims' holy day. Green is the color of the Prophet, and being symbolic of verdure is inevitably associated with the World Mother. In both the Islamic crescent and the scimitar may be interpreted to signify the crescent shape of either the moon or Venus. The famous stone of Kaaba, Kabir, or Kebir at Mecca, says Jennings, which is so devoutly kissed by the faithful, is a talisman. It is said that the figure of Venus is seen in the day engraved upon it with a crescent. This very Kaaba itself was at first an idolatrous temple where the Arabians worshipped Al-Uzza, god of Isa, that is Venus. The Muslimans, writes Sir William Jones, are already a sort of heterodox Christians. They are Christians, if Locke reasoned justly, because they firmly believe the Immaculate Conception, divine creator, and miraculous of the Messiah. But they are heterodox in denying vehemently his character of Son and his equality as God with the Father, of whose unity and attributes they entertain and express the most awful ideas, while they consider our doctrine as perfect blasphemy and insist that our copies of the scriptures have been corrupted by the Jews and Christians. The follow lines are declared by the followers of the Prophet to have been deleted from the Christian Gospels. And when Jesus, the Son of Mary, said, O children of Israel, verily I am the apostle of God sent unto you, confirming the law which was delivered before me, and bringing good tidings of an apostle who shall come after me, and whose name shall be Ahmed. In the present text containing the prophecy of Jesus concerning a comforter to come after him, it is further claimed that the word comforter should be translated illustrious, and that it had a direct reference to Muhammad. Also, that the tongues of flame that descended upon the apostles on the day of Pentecost in no way could be interpreted as signifying the promised comforter. When asked, however, for definite proof that the original Gospels contain these so-called expurgated references to Muhammad, the Muslims make a counter demand for production of the original documents upon which Christianity is founded. Until such writings are discovered, the point under dispute must remain a source of controversy. To ignore the heritage of sculpture received from Islam would be unpardonable oversight, for when the crescent triumphed over the cross in southern Europe is what the harbinger of civilization which had no equal in his days. In Studies in a Mosque, Stanley Lane Poole writes, quote, "For nearly 8 centuries under the Mohammedan rulers, Spain set to all Europe a shining example of a civilized and enlightened state. Art, literature, and science prospered as they then prospered. Art, literature, and science prospered as they then prospered nowhere else in Europe. Students flocked from France and Germany and England to drink from the fountains of learning, which followed only in the cities of the Moors. The Sergians and doctrines of Andalusia were in the van of science. Women were encouraged to devote themselves to serious study, and the lady doctor was not unknown among the people of Cordova. Mathematics, astronomy, and botany, history, philosophy, and jurisprudence were to be mastered in Spain and in Spain alone. The library of original sources thus sums up the effect of Islam. The results of Mohammedanism have been greatly underestimated. In the century after Muhammad's death, it wrested Asia Minor, Africa, and Spain from Christianity, more than half of the civilized world, and established a civilization, the highest in the world during the Dark Ages. It brought the Arabian race to their highest development, raised the position of women in the East, though it retained polygamy, was immensely monotheistic, and until the Turks gained control, for the most part, encouraged progress. In the same work, among the great Islamic scientists and philosophers who have made substantial contributions to human knowledge are listed Gerber or Jaffer, who is the 9th century laid the foundations for the modern chemistry. Ben Musa, who is the 10th century introduced the theory of algebra. Al-Azay, who is the 11th century, made a profound study of optics and discovered the magnifying power of convex lenses. And in the 11th century also, both Avicenna or Ibn Sina, whose medical encyclopedia was the standard of his age, and the great Kabbalist Avisbrin or Ibn Gabriel. Looking back upon the science of the Mohammedans, resumes the authority just quoted, it will be seen that they laid the first foundations of chemistry and made important advances in mathematics and optics. Their discoveries never had the influence they should have had upon the course of European civilization. But this was because Europe itself was not enlightened enough to grasp and make use of them. Gerber's observation that oxidized iron weighs heavier than before oxidation had to be made over again. So had some of their work in optics and many of their geographical discoveries. They had rounded Africa long before Vasco da Gama. The composition of gunpowder came into northern Europe from them. We must never forget that the Dark Ages in Christian Europe were the bright ones of the Mohammedan world. In the field of philosophy, the Arabs started by adopting the Neo-Platonism they found in Europe and gradually working back to Aristotle. What means the subtle mystery of the phoenix reborn every 600 years? Faintly, from within the sanctuary of the world mysteries is whispered the answer. 600 years before Christ, the phoenix of wisdom, Pythagoras, Pythagoras spread its wings and died upon the altar of humanity, consumed by sacrificial fire. In Nazareth, the bird was again reborn from its own ashes, only to die upon the tree which had roots in Adam's skull. In AD 600 appeared Ahmed or Muhammad. Again, the phoenix suffered, this time from the poison of Kabir, and from its charred ashes rose to spread its wings across the face of Mongolia, where in the 12th century Genghis Khan established a rule of wisdom, circling the mighty desert of Gobi. The phoenix again gave up its form, which now lies buried in the glass sarcophagus under the pyramid, bearing upon it the ineffable figures of the mysteries. After the lapse of the 600 years from the death of Genghis Khan, did Napoleon Bonaparte, who believed himself to be the man of destiny, contact in his wanderings the strange legend of the continual periodic rebirth of wisdom. Did he feel the spreading wings of the phoenix within himself, and did he believe the hope of the world had taken flesh in him? The eagle on his standard may well have been the phoenix. This would explain why he was moved to believe himself predestined to establish the kingdom of Christ on earth, and is perhaps the clue to his little understood friendliness towards the Muslims. Honestly, that was pretty boring. I ain't even gonna front. But I need 1 second, and then I'm gonna open up, because those who remained will hear the good news. Those who left will have to watch this entire video.
I came on the feet. I came on the feet.
H-O-T-C, hold the rudder chakras, hold the rudder chakras. H-O-T-C, hold the.
Here we go. It's messing with me now. I won't play the song I want to play.
I came on the feet.
H-O-T-C, hold the rudder chakras, hold the rudder chakras. H-O-T-C, hold the rudder chakras, hold the rudder chakras. H-O-T-C, hold the rudder chakras, hold the rudder chakras. H-O-T-C, hold the rudder chakras, hold the rudder chakras. My ideology is just an idea of the shit I run like diarrhea, waking up non-believers. And I'm not talking about Jesus neither. I got my dad and my mother's features. I use my nose to measure evil, the treasure keeper. My mind thoughts measure deeper, but higher than Ebenezer. Weapon squeezer, lesson teacher. I've risen from what's left from reefer. You can feel the chakras forming space right between us. I travel veins, and the ending's just beginning. Now we need ventilation just to walk the nation. We facing elimination. I'm looking at this shit sideways. Now we witnessing tidal waves. controller never died. 2,000 years ago, I was here, but in a different life.
What's good? That pretty much sucked. I kept messing up the second part. But I never read the Muslim part, so let's see who's up in here. Can a Dummy, peace. Dean Kendo, peace. Fulcrum Monarch of Integrity, peace. Kimba. Mine's I. Anna K. Let's see. Dark Sky. Oh, Danny Skylark. Peace to everybody, man. Orphan Annie. Lapis Blue. Peace to everyone. So Amma came here, peace to her too. I'm not gonna keep scrolling up, it's too much. Of course, Mark Basket, I knew he was here. But yeah, man, I spoke to Lucid today. Yes, I did. I think it was people know her as Rose, but I call her Lucid's wife. I think her mother called. Or his sister. I don't know. I forgot. I was just in shock. And he's for him to remember me, man, that's just all good. And it made me feel good, but yet there's other information I won't disclose, but let's just say he's doing good. For him to remember, all he wants to do is go home. And I told him I will be going out there, no matter if it takes a week or 2 weeks. But you know, he said he wants me to go out there, so I told her, I don't know who it was. I think it couldn't have been his mom, because she talked to me about his mom. So I think it was Rose's mom. Anyway, the point is, I got to speak to him, and I think it was Rose's mom. I got the phone call this morning, so it was awesome to hear from him. And like I said, I'm 50-50 with the conversation, but yeah, man, it's great to know that he remembers all of us. And the other great thing is he's gonna go live with me later. He wants to go live so bad, you know. And I told him to just text me and I'll set it up. So hopefully that all works out. I'm excited. but nervous at the same time. Peace, Paula.
Peace and love. uh, so I had, I do believe, at least a half of a revelation while you were reading from the book, basically, before the Muslim stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to jump in then. Because I'm like, okay, so Christ is worthy because he's the only one that is able to break the seals. And this is mentioned in Revelation. And then, but as you were reading about the four horsemen, you were talking about seals being broken. And then there's
Yeah,
scripture
but
on Christ coming on a horse.
it said nobody could break them. That's what it said in there. Nobody could break them. No one from the heavens or nobody. But it did say somebody broke them. I forgot the name. It wasn't Jesus. It was somebody else.
In the
Let me
Bible, it
look.
says Christ is the only one able to break the seven seals.
Yeah, that's why I just read this stuff for people. But there's so much contradictions in the Quran and the Bible that
Yeah, that's
let me
why
see.
I try to balance it out.
It says, where was this part? All right, the four elements are the four horsemen. Ba ba ba. When the sixth seal was broken. So let me rewind. Boop boop boop. It says, well, maybe I'm on the wrong page. All right, it says, which are the seven who sat upon the throne, in his right hand the book sealed with seven seals, which no man in heaven or earth had been found worthy to open. Then appeared a lamb, Aries, the first and chief of the zodiacal signs, which had been slain, having seen, which had been slain, having seven horns. Ba ba ba. The Lamb took the book from the right hand of him, so Aries, that sat upon the throne, and the four beasts and all the elders fell down and worshipped God and the Lamb. So it seems Aries took the book, and everyone fell to their knees and worshipped them both. But the Lamb is Jesus, so Aries. Isn't Jesus the Pisces? So I don't know.
Well,
That's crazy.
so Jesus is all of them. Jesus is, in the end of the stories, this is the stories being told through his evolutions, and I would say his reincarnations. And in the end, he's Ophiuchus, who overcomes them all, like Hercules and all the other stories. So he has been all of them. He did start out being the sacrificial lamb, which is the ram, which is Aries.
They
And
said Jesus is what's his name, man? Damn it. Jesus was not Constantine, but I forgot the
he's
guy's
been
name.
Joseph. He's been all of them. All the big hitters. Joshua. He's been all of the big hitters that accomplished things. So, and now I'm seeing a connection between him and the four horsemen, because he did say that he came to kick ass and take names. I'm paraphrasing. He did not come to bring peace but a sword. And then it says he came on a horse or he comes on a horse. And then you got the four horsemen. And I had never connected those dots before today. There's something there. I'm not quite sure what, but I know that the Bible says that he is the only one that is worthy to break the seven seals. So I'm still pondering that one. I don't have the full revelation on it yet, but there's something there. And Christos was here.
Was.
I don't think he still is, but he was. He commented underneath one of my videos on my channel, and you know I'm all about us all becoming one group, not several splinter groups. And I told him you were missing him over here on your channel, and he came over here to support, and then you were still reading, so he probably just was listening. He may still be listening, I don't know. You'd have to check live chat. But he did come over here to show support, so he knows that you've been missing him over here now. I told him. So you should start to see him
Yeah,
more
man.
often.
Chris is a powerful mind, man.
Yeah,
He always comes here and drops some knowledge.
right. Especially when, you know, you talk about tarot, and that's have him here then when you were doing those readings.
Hold on,
Because
let
I
me
love
jump out and jump back in
Okay.
because you're breaking up. It's probably me because I've been on here so long.
Okay. So Christos, if you're still out there somewhere, show yourself. Jump in. Oh, let me see if I can see live chat without it freezing up on me. Huh. Let's see. So hello to everybody in live chat also. I think I've said hi to most of y'all. Yep. I do believe I've said hi to most everybody in here in live chat. I don't see Christos come back at all here. Of course, it's going to freeze now. Of course. Okay, I'm going to stop looking at live chat before I get frozen out of here. I gotta mute myself for a moment, y'all. Sorry. Okay. Oh, still gotta clear my throat. Hang on.
All right. I try to change the title. I don't know if it did it on YouTube.
Oh, what'd you
Because
change
I
it
have
to?
I tried to I didn't try, pre-recorded, and I did the human body and the symbolism of it, which is that was awesome. I've read that one before, but that's why I picked that. So I said, well, let me get some of the lesser, and Apocalypse one's cool. I like that one too, but I more or less always thought, or no, we're the saviors and we need to do something. But people want me to read stuff, and I'm just gonna finish this book, and then I'm gonna start. I have some PDFs that are really good. People are gonna love them, but um, the Islam one, I thought it would be better. I never read that chapter, but I'm pretty sure there's much more to Muhammad than what was said there. It seems
Oh
like
yeah.
it tried to clean up his name of people saying bad stuff. Like I've done the Surah and prayers of Muslim, but I haven't read that whole book because you need somebody that knows that book. probably somebody from the Middle East to teach you. You can't. What people learn here, I think, is an offshoot. Like religion has so many offshoots that it screws everything up, and that's why I don't follow religions. I am
Right.
the church. I am the temple. I am God. I could talk to God on the poop shoot if I have to. I mean, I don't
Right.
know why people need a building to talk to the creator. You could just think
Right. Now you don't need a building. The only reason they make those buildings is to make money.
that and to control people too. Peace, Dean. Triple
Yep,
OG. You,
and to control them. Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah, I tried
Now
to look
I'm
at.
not saying. No, I just want to say I'm not saying there isn't truth or good stuff in the Bible that you could apply to life. It's just the way they taught it. They don't teach you that. Like what they were mentioning in Apocalypse, a lot of that has to do with the brain. Like a lot of the four horsemen and stuff that I I think we go to war with ourselves. Um, we all go through the Genesis and the revelations of death. Every day somebody's revelation is happening. And the Great Flood, I think, was like you said, the flood of information, of false doctrines, which is religions, and the
Yes,
flood of fire is going to be the burning down of these false doctrines, or people are waking up. And I don't mean
the
physically burning down. I mean it's already happening.
no,
There's a, it's
that's
crumbling.
right. The truth, the truth burns, so let it burn. Yes, it is the truth that is the fire. There will be no physical fires unless people have lost their damn minds and go out there and start trying to burn down entire fucking cities. There's
Those are them
nothing.
people don't even know what they're fighting for. And people that did that, they don't know what they're fighting for. That shit, they're sent by the government to bring in martial law. That was the whole plan. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. That's right. Because
Nobody followed those psychos. Somebody
right.
coming up.
We are not supposed to use actual fire. It is the truth that is fire, and let it burn. And that is the only fire that is necessary for the waking up of the
Oh
masses.
man,
And we also
this is
don't need any
crazy,
more
man.
sex cults. Sex cults have been done to death, and they are completely and utterly useless. It is not about the flesh, it is about the spirit. If you get the
This
spirit
is
right,
insane.
it will refine the flesh, but it is not about sex. Anything that starts reading about sex, my brain just shuts the fuck off because I know better.
I downloaded this freaking. Don't tell me I can't do anything with this video. I even downloaded it so I could upload it, and it's not even on my phone.
What?
Yeah, I
What?
don't know what's up. And then I said, well, maybe it didn't download. Let me try it again. And it says you want to download this again. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, at
Yeah, I don't
least it
know.
remembered that you downloaded it before. I would just in case make sure and download it again, and then your phone will cry at you that you have doubles, and then you can go in and delete one of them later. Sometimes I forget I already downloaded something, and I'll download it again, and then when my tablet cries, I'll just go delete the duplicates and keep the originals.
Yeah, because that one that I read about it's called The Human Body and Symbolism, and that was really good.
Yeah,
And I had pre-recorded. I wanted to try to see if I can upload it. I thought I could play it here. I guess you got to buy the $25 one to do that, but it let me download it, so I was gonna upload it and have two videos today. One someone could go back and watch, and then one live. But I guess I'm not. I'm gonna have to check that later.
yeah.
And another good
You did
chapter
me.
is there's a
I
lot of
think
other good chapters. Atlantis and the gods of antiquity. There's about I don't know. You
I
don't
didn't
have
get
this
up
book
until
to teach you,
noon. Oh yeah,
but
what's the name of the book again?
the secret teachings of all ages.
Right. Okay, so that others know in case they didn't. But yeah, I didn't get up until noon. When I got up, you were reading about the body, the human body. So I do believe that I did miss some at the beginning. So I will have to go back and rewatch it. But I mean, your videos are
No, I
awesome. I have
didn't.
no problem with that.
I didn't read that one. That's a video I pre-recorded, but I gotta upload it. That's why I changed the name. This one's about the apocalypse
Oh,
and Islam. Yeah, that's the one I'm saying. I'm trying to upload that video. If not, I'll
mm,
just have to read it live next time. I'll just have to do it again live.
oh,
I don't. Yeah, it didn't upload to my channel, so
oh, man.
let me see. Let me see if it did. I doubt it. No.
I didn't see it in my notifications that I don't
No.
think. I don't want to freeze my tablet up, so I can't look right now. Husband's got the
Huh.
computer. Oh, I wish someone else would come up. I know there's others that would.
Yeah, no. Everybody left. There was at least 11 or 12 people. Everybody's gone. There's 6 in here. 7 now.
Aw,
I thought maybe London Man or somebody went live, but
I think he's waiting
I
for
guess
his
not.
minutes to, because he used
Yeah.
up all his 3 minutes.
I told him how to get around that, but that's on him. How do you think I do it every day? There's ways around everything. I just won't say it on here because I don't want it to
Right. Get out.
but
Yeah.
it's still not like having the full you know, you pay the money, you
Hey,
get better stuff.
right.
So yeah, it sucks without this. They have more stuff you can do, and it pretty much sucks without it.
It's enough for me.
Dean, come up.
At least you can go
Oh,
live for those who do not know. You know, usually you can't go live on any platform until you have 1,000 followers. But if you're using StreamYard, you can have just one fucking follower and you can still go live. So that's a big plus.
yeah. I hope JP's listening in. Yeah, I got to go see him. I don't care if it's a week from now, because I have to I have to align a few things. I can't just get up and go because I have responsibilities here. I got to make sure everything's in line, and then I can go. I don't care about being able to do a 3-day trip on the bus would be like a vacation, but it just sucks. It has to be for this, you know what I mean? It couldn't just be a straight up vacation. It has to be for this situation, which,
Yeah.
well, he wants me to come out there. He says yes, you know. I talked to him briefly, and um, he wants me to come out there, so I got to come up with the money. You know, if I had $500 to throw away, I'd be out. I would have been left. But to come up with that amount out of nowhere is not easy.
Right.
But I will, even 400. You know, I would do bare minimum because they said they would come pick me up and stuff. I didn't even ask. They said it. I said I'm trying to come out there, and I said I will at some point. You know, definitely. And they said they would pick me up from Denver airport and all this. I got to see if I could get cheaper plane tickets.
Yes. You don't want to be on no bus for 3 days. That shit ain't no damn fun.
Yeah,
Been
but
there,
the
done it.
plane tickets are like 300 one way.
Oh, my.
That's crazy. I was telling them. Yeah, I was telling them. I said that can't be. I said I'm not leaving the U.S. to go to Puerto Rico round trips. $150. That's what my friends were paying, unless they had like tickets from traveling all the time. Like, you know, you get air points or something, whatever it's called. I don't know, man.
Sorry, I'll be right back, y'all. We got a false delivery. We got somebody else's shit on our deck. I'll be back.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Alright. But I'm definitely about to get this money up, and you know, I'm gonna put Rose's Cash App. But I'm pretty sure everyone got it because it was put up on the last live. I gotta look at my texts. I just I'll probably stay live till 3 hours hit, another 45, 50 minutes. Then I gotta wait for Lucid's family to call me, and then I'm gonna go live with Lucid. So hopefully that all goes through. One tough warrior right there, man. That's for sure. He reminds me of me. The plenty of times I've got badly injured. All I want to do is go home. Screw the hospital. And that place is like walking into a league of demons. I don't like them places, that's for sure. They say white is for the godliness people. They should have black coats. Fuck white.
White is all the colors. Why do you say
So is
black?
black.
Well, black is the
Because
absence of color.
I thought black absorbed all the colors too. Well, I think white's the purest. I don't know. I could be wrong. But the black is the absence of light, but it also absorbs all the light. They're both ends of the light spectrum. But no, I was just saying these people that wear white coats should wear black coats.
Yeah,
I don't want to
know.
say what place or anything. I don't even want to mention anything that has to do with medical or anything. I ain't never talking about that shit again.
Yeah.
And it's all their fault. Anything you want to talk about in that field, they want to penalize you for it. So
yeah.
But I'm gonna do it. I gotta start uploading on my other. I have what's the name of that? It's called damn it, man, I forgot the name of this other app I have. It's either, I forgot the name of it. Chris knows the name. Damn it, I forgot. But the link to it is in some of my videos, my recent ones. I put the link in some of them because I have damn near every other freaking site you can go to. But I like YouTube. I ain't gonna front. It just sucks that freedom of speech don't exist.
I agree. Me too. We may have to leave YouTube just to get away from the sex cult trying to take over YouTube. And that's some shit. I didn't realize that's what was going on until, uh, what, well, yesterday evening. I was watching someone's video who was watching someone's video, and some shit was said in there that told me immediately that it's just a sex cult. And so, and these people mean to take over YouTube. Absolutely. With this sex cult. So, I don't know. We may have to make eventually final videos leaving links to all of our other channels, but only for a short time so that we're not followed. I don't know how we're going to do that because we don't want to be followed to our new places by all the wrong people. You know, I got to mute again. I think I got allergies because it's spring. I'll be back.
Damn, I forgot the name of this place. I'm trying to think of it because I already have a page open there that I just didn't really, the whole thing with the insectoids. I was watching that channel, and he goes in about the insectoids and how people go on these crusades and conquer the lands, and they're mimicking the insects, which is fact. They're just like the ants. No animals do that. What animal do you know where there's a leader and people go invade other colonies? Only ants and insects. I don't see any animals that do that. I know people say, but Chuck, wolves fight in packs. Yeah, but they don't follow a leader, wolves. They're all dolo solo. So
Yeah.
yeah, baboons, but they don't go invading colonies, baboons and stuff. So insectoids. And the guy was saying the what stone is that? He says the Ben stone,
Uh-huh.
which he says I'm still trying to figure out what the Ben stone is, but he says that we evolved from apes or monkeys. Um, I got to look more into what he's saying about that because I firmly don't agree with that at all. And
Yeah.
he goes a little like
I don't
he's
believe that either. Yeah. Because if we
he
evolved
goes
from
like
apes or monkeys without scientific help in a petri dish, where are the monkeys that are somewhere in between monkey and human? Where the fuck are they?
I know.
Where the fuck
Bro
are they?
Sanchez
Show
used to say
my
that a
ass.
lot. Yeah. I
Yeah.
want one of them pets.
You know, what the hell? There's no way that's true. It'd still be happening. And if it is, why are they hiding it from us? Why are they kidnapping them all? Clearly, if it's happening, they're hidden underground, being experimented on. But I still don't think that that's the case. That's too much work to keep up with. I do not believe we evolved from monkeys. No. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy's name is God something. I gotta ask Phil what his name. I can never pronounce a dude's channel. I mean,
Yeah.
he does have some good stuff though. Some of the stuff I can agree with. Like we live in a crater and the moon reflects the earth, which I could pretty much agree with that. As far as us living in one of the little craters in the moon, because the moon reflects the entire Earth, and he has a good point. All the old maps were circle. And I'm gonna start sharing some of his videos too. There's a couple of them that I even found more about my roots and the crusades that went on and slaughtered my ancestors.
Yeah, yeah. And that's exactly what's happening with the Sucks cult trying to take over YouTube. It's one of those types of crusades. They will, like Paul was doing in the Bible, before he was allegedly saved, he's going around killing all the damn Christians. And then all of a sudden he's saved after he's killed all these Christians. I don't know. I'm not sure I buy that yet. And it's hard
Yeah, the
to
Christians took them in. They needed soldiers or people to promote their doctrine. I've never felt drawn to any religion. I felt undrawn. I felt, even in
yeah.
church, I would sit there and be like, I would fall asleep. They're over there
I
swinging
know,
incense.
dude. Me too. And and I think it's because we knew they were fucking lying to us and that there was nothing to be learned. So might as well take a fucking nap. Because if you're being told
I
the truth is interesting. It's going to keep your attention. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah, 13. I used to tell any person, any religion, I'd say, I'm God. And they would get mad. And I'd be like, why are you getting mad? You don't think the Creator gave us this place um, to, live in and have an experience? Human body, they say we're born into sin and stuff, but I don't agree with that either. Nobody
Right.
knows what sin is until we're released from our parents into this fucked up system. That's what's doing the sinning. You know how much
Yeah.
perverted shit I learned in these schools? I learned how to swear. I learned what racism was. All
Yeah.
that from school. My mother didn't teach me none of that stuff. It
Right.
was all from school.
Yep.
The system's perverted, period.
Yep.
It takes everything from you. It just destroys your illumination and eclipses it with fucking garbage. Poisons
Mm.
the mind like the parasite it is.
Yep. Yeah, my friend Nathan calls this world cosmos. I am inclined to agree with him. It's a crime scene where all manner of insanity happens. That's
Yeah, religion will
him.
drive you to that.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people committed suicide over religion, thinking that they're nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a story in
We
the
all make
Bible.
mistakes. What? What story?
There, there's a story in the Bible where there was a group of Christians that were hiding away from like the Romans, and they knew that the Romans were about to be upon them. At least there used to be this story. I haven't looked to see if it's still there. But anyway, they knew the Romans were about to be upon them, so they all killed themselves. So it was almost like they were pushing suicide at
Yeah, the
one point.
Romans, they couldn't beat my ancestors. My German ancestors were whooping them. They couldn't beat them. And then Germany was infected with the germ. And meaning I'm gonna start calling the parasites the insectoids. That's my new word for it
Oh,
because
that's
it's
what they.
a hive, the hive mind state.
Yeah,
They infected my people, or
yeah,
not my people. They're not my people, but my ancestors were infected. They were whooping Rome's ass,
yeah,
or then it was they whooped Rome's ass. Or they couldn't defeat. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Eastern Rome was the most powerful.
yeah.
Um,
I got some German.
ODD. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know who ODD is? I play his music. He said in one of his songs, "All roads lead to Rome,"
That's what
and
they
they were
always
never
say.
defeated.
I just don't understand what the saying fully means, though. I've been pondering it for years. Um, I like to say all roads lead to home, because I ain't going back to no damn Roman Empire bullshit. I'll die first.
And Hitler too. Like, I don't know if any of that stuff's true, just because there's pictures. They could do movies and take pictures. I mean, I didn't live in them days, but I know it's now, and I know I don't
Yes, you
adopt no
do.
religion or ideologies.
Reincarnation. We were there for all this shit. We just need to check inward to get most of our answers, you know. Um,
That's what I
but yeah,
do.
we were there. We were there when they crucified Christ. We were there with all of it. We just don't remember it because they erase our memories.
A lot of shit I was saying at 13, it was from my inner self, and people would think I'm nuts. I would tell them I'm everything. I'm black, I'm white, I'm Asian. People look at me like I'm nuts. Um,
You were closer to being right than anybody else.
like the religion, the whole thing of people bowing to statues and shit. I'd be like, what's wrong with us, man? We're bowing to a statue. People treat
Yeah,
their parents like shit, especially their mother who gave them life, who carried them for 9 months in the spaceship and then entered through the vortex, and they pray to a statue over their parents.
yeah,
I used to think about that. I think about it now like, damn, they had us have us brainwashed.
yeah. My mom was evil and I hated her, but I also loved her because she was my mother, and there was also a certain amount of respect for that. The fact that she brought me into this world. Um, so you can both love and hate somebody at the same time because I did it. You know, Bible says love your enemies. Boy, did I do that, because my enemies were indeed members of my own family, just like Christ said. Um, but my mom's dead and gone now. Uh, my sisters are still alive. I don't like them, but I do love them. Uh, but at least I don't hate
You said it.
anyone.
JC, Jesus Christ, aka Julius Caesar. That's who he said. It took me a minute to remember. And when he
Uh,
put their pictures side by side, just like they like to do in history with a lot of these people that were really evil, they like to make them good and show people smiling, but they did evil shit. What was that guy in China? I forgot his name. They changed his name a little different, and it's almost like the evil and good side of people, but instead they don't. Um, you know, as far as this being, you know, people say we're born into sin because we do fucked up shit, but I think by us doing fucked up shit, as long as you learn from it, like, you know, I'm not saying killing or I'm saying when you make a mistake, like you steal something from the store because you're hungry, um, you learn from your mistakes, teach other people the mistakes you've made. Um, it's a learning
yeah.
process. How can you? Some mistakes you're supposed to learn from them. That's how you make mistakes. That's how you know. I think
Yeah,
that's
mistakes are to be learned from, and it is better to learn from someone else than to make the mistake yourself. But a lot of people, what they say, and they've said it to me, and it's just like, wow, that's just mind blowing. They want to make their own mistakes. They don't want to learn from someone else's mistakes, and that is so
that's
sad.
tough.
Yeah,
Well, sometimes in life, I think for me, it's like some people. it's a blessing to learn from your mistakes, because some people make mistakes and they become a permanent example. They could be dead or killed. They can't learn from that mistake. So, in that saying, it's best to learn from that type of mistake. But sometimes in life, some people, it's not the fall until you get up back up, and some people need to fall right on their face. Boom. Yes, they got to
Yeah.
learn the hard way. But you don't want to become a permanent example to where other people got to learn from that mistake, because you ain't going to be alive to actually learn from your mistake. You're going to be a permanent example. I had a video on this. Chris was there, and so was Lucid. We were going in on that because I've learned from I got because I brought up these evil people in the world. I don't pray for them, but I hope. I don't want to call it pray because we're not praying on nobody. When you pray, it's like that don't sound right, man. I'm gonna pray tonight. Sounds like you're a uh you're looking for you become a victim. Like when you pray, it's like that word. Don't birds look for their prey? They pray. But
Right.
anyway, I want them to learn from their mistakes. Who am I to take their life? But I think better than killing somebody is to uh, banish them. If we all came together and we walked away from this society, we hold the pyramid up, it'll fall. And if we shunned them from society, they would definitely feel like shit, and nobody would talk to them. They wouldn't have their toys, or their mansions won't matter. Their money that they print won't matter. Um, but to get people to see is the toughest part, to give people sight into the truth. Um, it's easier to lie to someone than convince them they've been lied to. And that was by Mark Twain said that, I think. That
Yeah,
is a very good quote.
it is. It's so true. It's said a little differently than you said. But yeah, I know what one you're talking about.
Let me see how it said. I put that quote in my video. And I've learned too, if you put pictures in videos and just put wording with them, as long as you're not like speaking certain things, it's hard to, I don't want to say it on here and give it away, but I've noticed this, but I don't think it works for the most part, because I've still gotten screwed on stuff. And I wonder, how do certain people get away with certain things? And I don't want to call them an agent. That's like calling someone a snitch or a rat. It's horrible to drag somebody like that. Unless you got paperwork or 100% proof. In my days, you don't do that. Like, people are so loose today to be like, he's a snitch, he's a rat, he's an agent. You know, you don't do that to somebody. Where's the proof? Show me some paper. And paperwork could be fixed nowadays. You can make your own fucking paperwork. So it's crazy.
Right?
These YouTube streets, people be like, he's an agent, he's this, he's a Mason, so he's an agent. Um, so that means all the carpenters and plumbers and electricians are agents too, because they're in the lodge.
Right.
Let me see.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can be a so-called agent. If you're for the truth, you're an agent of truth. I mean, that is one way it could be worded. If you're of the lie, then you're an agent of the lie. So I guess, saying that they're agents or we're agents, or, okay, everyone's a fucking agent. So pot calling the kettle black much? So, it's, if you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody, but you don't have to say they're an agent, because we don't know for sure. That's an assumption that they're a Mason or whatever. We don't know. I
It
guess
states,
you could go by what they're saying, by the words they choose to use. You could figure that out eventually, but this early on, I don't think anybody knows who's an agent and who isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace, Sir Drop. Good to see you here, Drop. I played your song earlier. I love that song, man. H.O.T. I don't know, man. That's one of his dopest songs that I've heard. I don't care what nobody says. But it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they've been fooled. That's what he
Painful.
says.
There it is. There it is. Yep.
I gotta go to Drops Live one day soon. I try to show everyone who comes here love, like Drop and So Ama, Christos. I went to his live. Of course,
Oh shit,
London
I
Man.
missed it. Oh fuck. I set the thing, it didn't
Yeah,
set the reminder, I didn't get notified.
yeah. The
No,
last
that's in
live I
2
seen her
days.
have, yeah, it
Oh,
was the
it's
other
I'm
day.
picking up one that's in 2 days now. Never mind. I didn't miss what I'm waiting for. I didn't miss it.
Yeah, there was women up there. I didn't even go up because it was mostly all women, so I just let them talk. But I was in the chat for a little while.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I gotta use So Ama's avatar. She sent me a few of them. I use them, but I just have this thing where I like to change my avatar. Oh, someone's coming up. We have a visitor. It's Sir Drop. Peace, Sir
What's
Drop.
good?
Hey!
Good man, chiefing on this good smoke, man. What's going on with y'all, man? Everything good?
Yeah,
Boy, you
chilling.
got a bass voice. A super bass voice. I love that. Do you ever do the ohm thing? Because boy, could you ring your own bell doing the ohm thing with that bass voice of yours. Because boy, when you go really low, that's
That's
what rattles your noodle there.
what
Oh,
the
I know.
monks do, I think. The
Yeah,
monks, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you do it right, it'll knock you in the floor. Be sitting when you do it. That's for sure.
When I do it, it vibrates my dome piece.
Yes,
Man, the
that's how it's supposed to be done.
funny part is I'm the skinniest motherfucker in the world with a deep ass voice. That shit is insane. Like if you never saw me, you would be like, man, that's big man. And then it'd be like, that's him. It's sort of like, what was the title of this shit? I mean, the eyes when they really finally found the eyes, you saw little and shit, and they like, wow, motherfucker. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, little bitty guy, big voice. That's like me. I'm a little bitty person with a big voice. Yeah. Hilarious. I love it. Oh.
Shit, a Ferrari faster than a semi truck. Shit, I don't know, but what y'all up here building about?
What was that question again?
What was y'all building about?
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Gosh, all kinds of stuff. We were talking about what he read about. We were talking about other things like uh, people pointing the finger, and right now everybody's calling everybody an agent when they don't really know for sure, and so that's a false accusation that shouldn't be happening. We're talking about all kinds of stuff.
yeah, like on that agent shit, that shit's so broad term. It's really like agent for what? Is you say you wanted to play say you wanted to get a brand new crib for the lowest price you can get. Who are you gonna deal with? A real estate agent. They agent just mean an agenda for how it's for somebody's agenda is to fuck everybody else's agenda up. Now them the trolling agents. I call them the provocative. So they provoke shit that don't need to. They make sure deals don't happen. As soon as somebody starts talking that dope shit, the motherfucker fuck the build up. Them type people, I wonder if they're getting paid to do it, or is it just people that's assholes like that? I don't know. But some people is relentless with messing up dope deals, slandering people's names, doing videos about people, and then you'll go on their page and be like, damn, that's what they whole page about, really. Talking about somebody else. I wouldn't care if it was a Muslim talking about a Christian. They whole page be talking about that shit.
You're not.
What's up,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah, hi, new person I've not met before. Face plant with your bullshit meter. I fucking love that, dude.
Peace, Canada Dummy. How you doing, man? That's Faceplant,
Face
aka
plant.
Canada Dummy. Yeah,
Oh,
It's
that's
plant.
Canada. Oh, okay. Hi, Canada.
I like that name, Canada Dummy. Hey,
Oh no, Andy's gone.
hey.
Yeah, man,
He
it's been a
jumped
while.
off.
Yeah, he bounced. Got kicked.
I wonder
Hopefully he
why
comes
he jumped
back
off.
in. But now that you got someone else in here, bro, I do need to bounce. It's husband's day off. So, but I just wanted to come in and, there he is. I wanted to come in and say that thing about the seals because I wanted it to get recorded. But until next time, I gotta go. I love you all.
Thanks for coming up, Paula.
Yes, no problem. Peace and love.
Peace.
Dude,
One love. Yeah, I was reading from this book, Drop. The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Bro's secret his his what could I call it? A lot of stuff I read in here he uses in his teaching. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not downing him for it.
but don't act like it's just man.
Huh?
When you start, I said somebody acting like what you read was theirs, huh?
Yeah.
And that's cool, long as tell somebody I read this here, it said this, that, and the third versus I said it, I made it up, it was me. You know what? And that'd be crazy. When it's verbatim, put it like that, because sometimes people just know the same shit and end up saying it. I ain't saying shit like that. I'm saying, say I'm reading a book, right? The whole page down. I close the book, and then I say what the book said, acting like I made it up. That's almost like plagiarism. Now, if I say what the book say, and then say I read this in this book, it's cool. But people wanting people to think they something they not, and it's almost like faking it. You know what I'm saying? Like this be the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I don't know what we're talking about. So go ahead, do better.
I still give credit to bro for opening my eyes to a lot of stuff. Like when he does his presentations, I mean, I listened into one of them he did recently. I don't be in the chat or nothing, but I listened in. see what he had to say. And but as far as the debates and stuff, I don't know. I just don't listen in on that. Too much arguing and too much yelling and stuff. But
It's
other than
like
that,
it's too many
no, go ahead.
people, but it be too many people that don't get along at one
Yeah.
space. You know what I mean? Like, it be motherfuckers really that don't like each other that be up that motherfucker. So it don't be no respect going on. It don't be no, they don't like care what you talking about. They just cut you the hell off. And it be like, you know. But it's like that anywhere, man, on these, it's like if you ain't going somewhere where you can make yourself at home, the channel is not welcoming. It's like crazy. Like you can hit an open link somewhere you don't never be. Man, you'll fuck around and get attacked, man. You like, bro, you just
Oh
click the
yeah.
link. I just got it up with y'all. I know I don't know y'all, but and hell yeah, block, boot it out. You like, man, you know what I mean? Because I go to a lot of times and it'd be weird, man. That shit. I be going to like, I like catching strangers' channels that's beefing about people I don't know and I just listen. And then I'll be like, yep, that's how I be sounding over in our community. Same shit, just different name.
People love
Hell
that
yeah,
shit. I ain't gonna front. They love the chaos. I don't. I just don't
it's just,
understand. That's what I try to tell people. Drop is we're arguing with ourselves when we should be arguing with the people that caused all this shit.
it's just funny. I like it. Like I could tolerate like when Copper Tone be trolling. It's so entertaining that it's just cool. You know, people like that. But then when you got motherfuckers, man, where you be really like, bro, you done said some shit that made me want to pull up for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that type of energy. I don't like that energy because I be going into a whole different phase and I don't like it. And I almost can't stop it. You know what I mean? So now I can't get to you. Now I'm an asshole in my real life for 2 or 3 days. Because I really just want to slap the shit out this motherfucker. This goofball somewhere all across the world. Look.
Yeah, they be especially when you call someone a bitch or something. That's mad disrespectful. Or call someone an agent. That's like calling someone a rat. Those two things right there are mad disrespectful.
If I think you're an agent or a demon, I'm calling you a bitch off that. Because ain't no respect to it. It's like you a fucking game. So why would you know? Hey, how you doing? All right, cool. I'll fake it with. But soon as they try to say their thing, man, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Because I've already impeached you. You see what I'm saying? That's how I don't know. I could be wrong at times, but everybody I be thinking like, get this motherfucker 5 days. They're gonna start trolling the whole community. Man, a week and a half, 2 weeks to go around, you see the same person everywhere, trolling, beef starting, making people try to choose sides, all kind of shit. And I watch it, bro. And it happens every 3 months. It's about to be a new person. I don't know who it's gonna be. Cause the old trolls, they done. It's about to be like three new names. Watch, you'll see them pop up. I spot them all the time. I watch them pop up because I know who been around from 3 years ago and who just came around 2 weeks ago. Type it in the chat, never show their face. Ever. But know everybody. Who the fuck is that? That's the one that's gonna just act like they popped up and hit the link. Hey yo, man, it's my first time on. I know it's your first time on. You really such and such and such and such, but now you coming.
Or
And
people use fake avatars too. I got the name drop
that's
Wandering
cool.
Monk.
I don't got a problem
I'm
with
a-
natural source. I got a problem with people that sent somewhere. That's the agent shit I be talking about. Like, who sent you? Why the fuck is you fucking the whole thing up? And that's what I always wondered. And I don't know if it's a real job, but if it is, them motherfuckers getting paid a lot of money. I can tell you that, trolling everything, dog.
yeah, I heard was it? I don't know who said it, but I heard this flat Earth movement. People was getting paid bread to do that. That's crazy.
I don't know. Some people say if it's a chat, some people say that should just be bots. Be a real person. Hell yeah, that's crazy as fuck too. Nah, I don't. Yeah, them bots is crazy. I don't even know what's the purpose of a bot. You know,
Hmm.
like the fake Facebook friends. It's not even a real person, and it's not nobody that even made it. It's a bot, but they don't want to tell you it's a robot because people will wake the fuck up. But it's really a bot that made another bot, and this shit is just start promoting motherfucking sex channels on your tape. You'll be looking in the chat. It'll be like adult such and such and such and such. You be like, hold the fuck
Hmm.
up. Ain't nobody. And you see it everywhere. It's an automated thing. Shit crazy. But
I, I like
well,
I try to stay away from that shit. I don't even indulge in that.
no, you'll see like you'll have comments in your shit that be bots. Like after a video, like they done got better with it now though. But no, the bots is it's weird as fuck, man.
They'll even
Yeah,
take your avatar too. They'll act like there's someone else.
I'm saying the real that's not a real person. Look up bots. Just type in internet bot and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like millions of them, like minions, bro. It's not even real people. It's not even connected to real shit, man. The shit is fucking insane. They internet robots, bro. It's
Dread
insane.
had some in his chat, and they react to the comments. Them bots.
Probably so. Probably
I
so. As
thought
soon
they
as I
were.
see it, because I don't be knowing what that shit is. I just block it. I don't think
Yeah,
that even do it.
I thought it was real people drop answering back to my comments. This is a fucking robot. Yeah, and it says it. It says bot. I won't use them things, but
I don't even think you can use a bot. That's what I'm saying. Look it up, man. You're gonna be amazed at what I'm talking about. It's hard for me to explain it because I wouldn't be able to say it like the video I watch. But it's sort of like a real person, but not a real person, and you can send them everywhere, but nobody's sending them. It's weird as fuck, bro. Like they down there making themselves. Like it's crazy as hell, dude. I don't know. You gotta look into it though. It's something deep like that though.
yeah, I'm working on a verse too. Drop. I just want to. I gotta say something that's especially if I'm gonna be on the track with you, man. I gotta say something that's jaw dropping. I ain't gonna just put anything together. It's got to be
Man,
line after line of
just write the shit, man. It's gonna be line after line.
and
Hell yeah.
London Man too. London Man wants to do a track too.
Yeah, that's fire too. We can get on that shit, man. I've been writing like rap. I've been writing raps and playing them through like, and it's dope as fuck. Like I got one where it got Snoop Dogg saying my shit.
Oh yeah, I heard
Look,
that. I played that.
Hey, but
Yeah, I
dig
believe
this.
that one.
Like, so this a new thing I'm about to just start fucking around with. So now I'm writing a book. I'm about to writing a book and I'm gonna have it audio read by my choice of voice. This shit gonna be so motherfucking fire. Instead of just writing raps and bars and shit, I'm about to write a whole. Oh, this shit about to be fire. It's called Battle My Shadow. Shit gonna be fire. What?
Yeah, I got tons of like I have a digital notebook in my phone, and when I be like walking and shit, I play some instrumentals like some Wu Tang instrument, whatever, just an instrumental, and I be thinking I got tons of notes. I just gotta turn them into a rhyme. Like thousands of lines that I think of, and I just write it down in a digital notebook. Boom, and it just line after line. I'm gonna put something together, create something out of
Now
it.
they do. Um, you can press the microphone, say what you gotta say, and it'll write it on a notepad. So I could be like,
Yeah, that's it.
I'm on a panel with Charles Woods, and then it'll write it down. I'm on a panel with Charles Woods. Da da da.
That's
You
what
know
I
what
be
I'm saying?
doing.
So
Drop. Yeah, that's what the digital notebook. You could download them. Drop. And well, you probably already got one. But sometimes it be messing up, man. Like when I say a word, it'll put something else. It'd be pissing me off. I'll be like, damn, you can't hear me? That's why I don't think
yeah,
computers are more smarter than humans or people, shall I say, instead of people are way smarter than a computer. They could just do math quicker. Ooh, or
right. Hell yeah. A computer gotta get programmed by a person.
right.
Without the person, like the God to the computer. Like without us using them, plugging them up, and all that, they ain't shit. The government is the computer to us. If we don't fuck with the government, they ain't shit. But we just can't even use the same analogy as a whole for some reason. Like everybody know this shit, but ain't nobody gonna never act on it because we too comfortable, we too domesticated. You dig me?
Yep.
Who the fuck sleep outside in Chicago in February, bro? Somebody.
They use computers to see what we're thinking, where we go, what we buy from the store, and it's going to come to a time where people want it for like a luxury, where it's cool to be able to lock your doors. Now, it's going to come to a time where you don't pay your rent and you're going to be locked out your own apartment. No more keys. It's going to be all digital. And if you don't pay, you ain't getting in. No way.
If the
Just
system
like
was
your car.
fair, if the system was fair, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Cause you do gotta get motherfuckers in line. But it's like
Yeah.
97 to 3%. That ain't no type of system. This system not working, obviously. Because we can't be the 3%, but the 1% got the 97%. No, we gotta restructure the system where at least it's 60-40. Or let's go 55, 35, 15, and 15. Let's do it like that. Because I'm telling you like this, if the whole system crash, only the strong gonna survive, only the evil gonna win. I guarantee you that. If a motherfucker blow your goddamn daughter's face off, you're not gonna be able to beat him without no system. That motherfucker's gonna be the person ruling. And you're gonna be like, this dumb motherfucker is so stupid. We gotta obey him or he'll just kill grandma. I want everybody to bow to me. And you like, you dumb son of a bitch, bro. That's the type of shit that would. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Maniacs take the fuck over, bro.
That's what I tell people, man. They like, oh, you know, there's other ways that
But
we could get rid of these insectoids. I like to call them now. They got the insect mind hive. I don't have all the answers, but I know burning shit down and going to war ain't gonna accomplish anything but dig us a deeper hole. People don't even know how to grow food anymore. So if we crash the system, where's the food gonna come from? Doctors won't be in play. It'll be just havoc, like you said. People will be. I watch people kill each other or try to kill each other over soups in jail. It's 80-cent soup. So imagine what'll happen if the stores ain't open and food ain't coming in. People will be kicking doors down like they'll rob your
Man, you
pantry
have
like it's nothing.
motherfuckers that had them dumbass cameras and alarm systems. Man, if you ain't got your shit barricaded, niggas coming right in your shit, dog. Ain't gonna be no response teams coming to help you. You're gonna see them on the camera. If you ain't got a panic room or no type of defense, they coming in, they taking all that shit, and you gonna either join them or they gonna fuck y'all up. And then they gonna want you to join them because it makes them stronger. And it's just gonna be a wave like The Walking Dead. Next thing you know, y'all gonna be like 100,000 deep, just like we want the world. I try to tell you, motherfuckers don't understand it. Because I believe my soul lived it before, so it's easy for me to think and see it. Bro, the motherfucker that'll loan you $1 won't survive. No apocalyptic. No, no.
Yeah, I
If
was
they
reading
if they don't,
Apocalypse.
go ahead, you got it.
Now, as you said apocalyptic, I read that, and it even states in there that that part of the Bible is about the mind, the apocalypse.
Yeah, that's what we dealing with now. Motherfuckers don't even understand the war against the government is supposed to be so peaceful. It's all about this. We ain't fucking with y'all. And everybody else get along. Instead, what they provide, the people will turn on each other for them same resources. When it's supposed to be like, no, we just ain't going to work. Now we said everybody get they canned goods and save everything because we about to say fuck these motherfuckers. Cool, everybody do it. Blacks, whites, border hoppers, everybody. Say boom, everywhere. Imagine if the world did it. They'll start blowing shit up. A nuke will go off, bro. Ain't no way they'll let the world, all them people over there in China making all that shit, just say, we got to go to white. No white, don't white. Oh, man, boom, blowing shit up, bro.
We about to have
Because,
no jobs.
huh?
Robots
I
are
don't
taking
know.
all the jobs.
I don't care who got the jobs. I know the motherfuckers who make the jobs is them motherfuckers. So
True.
it's always be a race flavor. Can you imagine them people that's over there grabbing them blood diamonds, bro, over there in Africa? Man, they ain't making no money. That's slavery. Can you imagine them
Yeah.
people over there working for a bag of rice? That's slavery. Black people went through their part too. It's slavery. It ain't like they captured these motherfuckers and made them do it. It's the fact they had to do it to feed their family. Ain't nobody make them motherfuckers do shit. Try to fire one of them motherfuckers that you giving a bag of rice to. Please, please, let me keep job. Please, let me keep job. He gonna be begging to keep that motherfucking one bag of rice, bro. People don't know what starving it is till they starving, and then they see what
Right.
they'll do. Man,
Shit. Um,
you got it.
what they do over there in with the diamonds drop, you said the diamonds, and now it's the lithium mines. They poison the water, so then they poison the water and scarce their food supply. So then they have to slave in order to make little crumbs of money to feed their family because the water's poisoned. You can't go to your nearest stream like they used to. These people over there, they've poisoned everything, and then they make them slave to get a little tight ass bit of money just to get clean water and garbage food. It's crazy how it's, ah, man, that shit pisses me off. Same thing here.
bro. And
A
you
lot of
notice,
people were slaves.
I was wondering, like, because I think the balloon shit fake, but now I still can't just
Hell
rely
yeah.
on what, right? I just can't go off what I think. I ain't every thought. So now I'm looking at it like, what the fuck would have landed in that water if it was real? What the fuck things y'all just pull off? Y'all shoot it down. We see all the, and then it went in the water. What's in the water now, bro? What the fuck was that? What y'all just do? Is what I would be thinking if I'm thinking is real. And the people that's thinking is real is not even asking them, man, what the fuck was that, bro? No, bro, we are supposed to capture the stuff that's falling out of it. It wasn't supposed to never hit the water. God damn it, you blow it up, the shit falls into the goddamn thing, and you test it. And that's simple. A fucking third grader and know to say that. Hey, why don't you guys just catch where the food up and you see what I'm saying? But by them doing that and them people not asking that, they seeing a way they can do a move. They like, I ain't even question it. We could say we saw another balloon, had that shit pop over right over the White House down there. Boom, some little poisonous ass shit that hits the air and turn into shit, and if you breathe it, you die. Now, cool, they done killed like 19 motherfuckers off a balloon that we allowed to shoot down now because we already shot it down. Didn't nothing happen. Didn't nobody test nothing. This, if it's real, that's why I pray to God it ain't real. Because you got the coronavirus. All right, if we could slip that through, and it ain't even a virus, and we can put them in a pandemic. Imagine if we send some through that start bumping them off for real. Oh man, straight compliance. Straight compliance. If you leave the house, bro, it's so many ways, and it's tests on our psyche to see how the public takes things so they can know exactly how to pull off what they trying to pull off 25 years from now, bro. They already pulling off what they pulling off now. This shit they be so ahead of the game, it's retarded. They working on us for 25 years from now. We working on a
Yeah,
5-year plan, 25-year plan. It's a different monster.
shit. They're the newborn babies and their family already have positions for when they grow up. Like you said, they plan hundreds of years ahead, probably longer.
Bro, I used to go, I used to stay up the street from a graveyard, right? The graveyard was some type of fucking war or whatever, one of them dumbass wars, right? But now the oldest grave was probably like such and such to 1904. The youngest grave was like 1776 to, you know what I'm saying? So the grave's old as hell. I'm talking about you just got rocks on top of the ground. They not even mounted into the fucking cemetery. Well, anyway, some of them got big ass, man, stones about 10 feet tall, right? 1776 and shit like this. Now here's what fucked my mind up. The one in the middle always got a whole bunch of flowers. Always, always. So I go to the grave. I go across the street. I go to the grave. This motherfucker died in 1776. Bro, people sending you flowers till right now. Bro, don't none of them know you. And you did so much for that line. And it was a Schumacher. One of them motherfuckers. That's what his name was. Something Schumacher. Whoever Schumacher was, man, bro, when people pay homage to your grave in 2000 and you died in 1776, flowers every Memorial Day, period. You got big ass pictures, I bet, in your family's house too. That's your great 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 grandfather. Better pay homage because you wouldn't be able to do none of this shit. And that's what I got out of it. I'm like, damn. It's deeper with certain people. They are ahead of the game. They sacrifice their life for the better cause, not kill themselves. Do exactly what need to be done for the future that they don't want to do. Man, them motherfuckers be rich. They can go golf every day if they motherfucking want to and say, we're not going to kill the people anymore. White man, they could still live the same way. They don't got to starve you out not to live how they live. They got to continue the mission. It's been a war. And then they put religion on it to try to justify it. And it's corny as fuck. And we been saw the pictures, but ain't nobody saying nothing. So now you're a Muslim, huh? A Muslim. You're a Christian, huh? I mean, nobody get fucked with none of them people there. Y'all motherfuckers fucking each other up over that dumbass shit since the beginning of y'all started keeping time. And it's corny as hell. It been corny. Once we understand there's no God, only a Most High Creator, and the Creator don't give a fuck what we do to each other. People think the Creator is sitting there like, please stop. Man, Creator don't God. Man, Creator ain't thinking of nothing like that. There's nothing about no feelings. It's all about creation. Butterflies, caterpillars, pollen, germs, sun rays, photosynthesis, sound.
Frequency.
Bro, yeah, he ain't thinking about, but I wonder what the human feels about it, man. Fuck you. You're the human. You're a mere mortal. You're nothing but a god. I'm the Most High Creator. This is why they spoke so fluently about gods and goddesses with plurals on them. Because we're human. That's what a god is. Fucking human being. He has dominion over the animals in the land. There ain't no fucking creator, most high Lord God.
Right. I just told, that's crazy, bring that up, Drop. I just went back and forth with my friend on the text. He keeps saying, I'm in church and Jesus is great. And I'm like, bro, you're God. Your girlfriend's God even more. She brings life into this world through the vortex. And he keeps insisting that Jesus is going to come solve all the problems, but there's no more I could say to him. He's already locked in. He's like, I'm going to get baptized. He's like, Jesus is great. And I'm like, oh, no. They got him.
And he going to say the same thing that they said he going to say. The same thing he just said. How have I forsaken you? Because he's not listening. People, the people that think Jesus is God, then they say, well, in spirit, then anybody can be God. Okay, cool. If you say he the most in spirit and God sent him down here, who the fuck didn't the Most High send down here if that's the case?
Right.
So cool, man. Everybody sent down here, then cool. We all just us. We all Jesus.
Yep.
So cool. He us, which would be Jesus. Cool. We ain't gotta even. I show you the way is Joshua. So now we understand these is just different phonics they use because I even use deeper ones today in 2020. So cool. Bam, I walked on water, bunny. All right, cool. We know what walk on water mean if you where I'm from. All right, now cool. What would make the term mean he literally is walking on water when they said it? You would never know because you wasn't there. If we say, nigga, I'm walking on water, nigga, you'll be like, either he got on some nice shoes or he's stepping on some heroin or cocaine or something. And he's walking on the water, some type of slang he's saying. We're not going to think he's walking on water. You see it? Walking he said the whole village piece of fish. All right, cool. Say I freed the whole village with one piece of fish, right? I say it to this day right now, right? Say I get I pull
That's a big
one
fish.
lick. I pull one lick out of the motherfucking bank, right? Boom, take the money and turn it into an empire in my neighborhood. they would and let it be free, right? They would say he fed the whole village with one lick, and they'd be like, "What he lick? Was it an apple?" See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You would have to know the genre first. You would have to know the lingo. You would have to know why is they saying this to even know what it means. Say I tell you right now, Charles, hey man, I'm about to slide over there right quick and grab you. Boom. 1,000 years later, somebody read it. The drop could slide and just grab people. That's what they gonna read. I'm about to go over there. He slid over there without even moving his legs, and he grabbed Charles Woods and said, "Let's bust this move in this other city." And then they busted a move without even moving.
He came and snatched. Sir Drop snatched was up.
and met mind's eye. Now they ain't talking about a person. They at the line of
Lies.
the eye. And now, because it's 1,000 years later, you're just reading it. You don't know
Wow.
what the f- talking about.
So it's like say where you would slide through, you snatched up Charles Woods like a pair of dice. You know how we pick up the dice after rolling them? Be like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
where my people's at? You know. Much love, y'all. Here y'all go. It's my fam.
Peace, mind's eye.
Shout out to mind's
1,000,
eye.
man.
And guess how they would take it 1,000 years later? This is how you know they died. If you say right there, paradise.
See?
You not gonna know
Why
what a
can't
person.
this be paradise? Why you gotta die to go to paradise? This is paradise that's being ruined by the insectoid
He
mind state.
Mm-hmm.
could be talking about a crap game. So imagine how much a crap game using a paradise can get shifted through 1,000 years. This
Wow.
is what I want to scripture, right? Bro, when they wrote the first words, they talking about 400 years prior. So they not even talking about the time as they writing it. They talking
Wow.
about 400. Man, get the fuck out of it. It was an oral origin and word of mouth. I know. I hear niggas tell stories all the time. And every time they tell the story, it's a twist to it and two sides to the story and exaggeration. And all right, cool. Now I'm supposed to write all this shit down 400 years later. All right.
Ooh. Hey, look, like you just said, that twist to it, bro. That's where we make them candy canes, bro. Like you know that pattern inside the candy cane, and say that
Uh-huh.
thing, that piece of candy, it's like a hook, and then it flip over to the cane. You know.
And it's the drill bit. That like how the
Yep.
red and white fall up. That's the drill. Hell yeah.
Yep. Like it's like we making candy, bro. Look, say
But
where
it's the
you get
nice time,
candy.
bro. Look, hold on. Let me say one more thing, and you got it.
Okay,
My bad.
respect, Brody.
And it's still that Nike symbol, bro. That's some type of god. Y'all probably know the name of it. Maybe Charles even know the name of the Nike symbol,
Oh,
the swoosh.
that
Yeah,
that has
that's
The night moon.
Mercury. Yeah, Mercury has them
yeah,
shoes on, and Hermes too.
that's the Cain and Abel. That's the walking cane, and that's the
The
candy cane.
cannibal.
Right.
The cannibal, like Cain and Abel, like say where they got the meat factory. You know how they put the whole vessel or the bodies on that hook. That's the candy cane. And like every one of us, we do like say where we eat, everything swirls through us. The energy, it's just like they say the candy cane is. I was kind of expressing that, with fam
But
last night. King of Higher. Respect, bro. So it is like we making candy canes, or it's a twist to it. How but you don't gotta twist all of the stories or that stuff before. Oh, man,
She
right there.
Nike is the daughter of Styx. She's uh the goddess of victory.
Oh, so it's like the stick, where you get the stick bent. You know how we could bend the bar? Is that what it's like? A straight stick turned to a bend and hooked. You know how you could take a rebar and bend it wise?
Yeah.
Like if the first goddess was Stick, you said her name was Stick.
Oh no, she's the daughter of Styx.
Oh,
Styks. I'm googling now to see the other people that align with Nike. So I know there's
wow.
more. I know Mercury, Hermes, and it says sometimes she goes by Athena.
Oh shit. There go Athens. There go Atlantis. There go the fish
Yeah.
getting caught by a hook. And much love to the chat. I didn't get to shout that out, greatest to the fam.
She's a daughter of Styx. It's spelled Styx. So let's see who Styx is. Styx is a
Okay.
river that forms the boundary between Earth, Gaia, and the underworld. So Styx is a river. She's the daughter of a river. Think about that for Mother Earth.
Wow.
The
Okay.
rivers are Akron,
Oh,
Cocytus.
oh shit. Shout out to the Akron, man. The anchoring.
Yeah.
My fault, bro. I didn't mean to
No, that's
disturb
all
you
right.
if you were still reading.
I swear there was more people that have them shoes with the wings. I know Hermes and Mercury, but I swear there was more.
Why you doing that, Wise? Why you
What?
hey,
Yeah,
that's
man.
fine. Cause the ankle
Mike,
wings shoes.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, man.
Yeah,
Yep, you
Jordan in
got it,
the
bro.
air.
Why you think they won't give Bron the GOAT shoot? Everybody know Bron the best player ever to play basketball. We can't give you the GOAT. You ain't do the goddess. You ain't do the goddess Kylie dunk with your tongue out. You
Ah,
ain't.
the
You ain't
signature.
play for the. You ain't play for the Bulls. You ain't rep the 23. You ain't. You ain't
Right.
sacrifice your fucking daddy. You ain't buy prisons to lock the niggas up that was hustling to get your shoes.
Mm.
You ain't. So then you be like, reason why Bron to go, because man, he over school for kids. He got an I hope such as that. Bron went against the whole grain. That's why he the coach. And he's smiling and laughing at him like, man, all you bald
With his
headed niggas,
tongue
I
out though.
ain't. Man, my motherfucking hair fall out. I just go pay to get fake hair stitched in my head because I'm not gonna be bald headed like Kobe, Kareem, and Michael Jordan. I'm not gonna rep the bull guy. That's why he the chosen King James. Get it
Mm.
to y'all.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they
That's
cut their
why I
locks off, huh?
rep. They like this nigga ain't had a speeding ticket since he been in the league,
Damn.
bro. Untouchable. Dumb person. And now,
Oh,
but now
oh
we
snap.
gonna hate on it. I only like it because I knew him when he used to wake up and steal the cereal and put it in his fucking pocket and go back upstairs and eat it. He's like, man, what happened?
He done passed the cereal. This
Look,
nigga got a packet full of cereal.
So
look
to
at
me, it's the
Nike, the
greatest.
goddess. Tell me that don't look like Jordan a little bit.
Mm.
The way Jordan flies in the air, it looks like it a little bit. She would raise her other
Oh,
leg up a little more.
With the
hey,
tongue
you
out,
saying
man.
it? Look at that. Look at the background though. Ooh wee.
And look how
She would
many
only raise
champions.
that leg.
No, look at the goddess Sally. Look how many championships she got in her other hands with the head to other motherfuckers. So when you see the goddess Sally, right, if you type it in a little blue bit, my bad. I ain't in the car. But anyway, all that demonic demon that shit. Well, it's good in it. Like Jonas Colley was and he was a lot. It's whatever. If you can't handle that bitch, she is. It's like if you meet a broad you can't handle. Another nigga can tame her. You might can't do shit with her though. But anyway, he got the all the championship heads. Man, nothing but dudes heads with their motherfucking tongue hanging out, bro. The shit is insane. Hell yeah. And everybody that gotta take a chance at him, they gotta go through where? College. Fuck out of here. Nigga, if you ain't coming off the Lakers, nigga, bro, get the fuck out of here. They barely say Dr. J. The fuck out of here, nigga.
The lake.
Moses Malone, one of the best players ever, straight out of high school. They don't even bring that nigga's name up. They'll let you die out.
Yep, very rarely will they mention the greats, and that's dope. You said that, fam, because you know it's only those that can comprehend themselves where you gonna acknowledge the greats. You know, you like where you know how they say where you point a finger, three of them or whatever point back.
Yeah.
You know, like you can identify with yourself, and that's what you're doing with everything you resonate with, bro. But a lot of people, they don't want to, you know, pay respects to the living, what they be trying to do. They want to drop you some quarters or some flowers while you dead in a casket, and it's like that's where I will scare the shit out of you, faking like that shit real, man. I will, you know, I'll come out the casket on you.
I wonder why people so scared of
Real shit.
like a mason. Every night. Hey, the big man. And it's like, so fucking what? Fuck that nigga. I don't be understanding. Like, he's a crip. So fucking what? Fuck that nigga. I don't be understanding how fucking
your mic getting choppy. Drop. Can you adjust your mic or something? Because it's kind of choppy.
Choppy.
No, that was the gang guys, man. I ain't gonna say what I was saying anyway. It was no, I ain't. Yeah, no,
go ahead, drop.
Too late.
There you go.
No, pull up the type in the artwork of the goddess Kali. Just type in
right.
goddess Kali. My bad for the background. Hold on. Goddess Kali artwork or image or whatever. It's gonna be a blue. It's gonna be a blue. It's gonna be a blue bit, like an avatar. Look, I mean, I ain't gonna keep calling goddess, but that bitch will come in at your sleep, though. That crazy ass deity. Look at that. Look. The deity got 6 motherfuckers head. See?
Yeah, she got some said that's the different versions of her, but I don't know. She got the trident, she got the sickle.
Woman, ain't the tongue hanging out?
She got a seashell and homeboy's head on the platter.
But the real one is 8 heads. It's 8 heads. It's supposed to be all motherfuckers' heads. Like that's how many bodies he caught. Like on some Wanda King shit.
Oh yeah, right here. Look at all them hands like a belt.
Right, them all supposed to be heads, and her mouth supposed to have her tongue hanging out. Do her mouth got the Jordan?
Is that there's that other deity, not Kali, Shiva. Is that Shiva?
I think that's Cali. Yeah, that is Shiva Land. That's yep, that's him.
Yeah.
And she needs 100 pair of Nikes on her feet. Look, mad feet.
Yeah,
She could
not Shiva, but that's Krishna right there on the
Krishna.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the shellfish. That's the crawdad. That's the octopus. That's the spider. The monkey spider. That's the when my bad. I got a
That's
background.
hey,
Yeah, so
that's that ripple effect. Like say right there, that's a symbolic picture of a man drowning in water below sea level right there. See how she was rippling all over him like that's water splash.
they say a woman came from a man's rib. No, man came from a woman's rib cage. The goddess Kali is the rib cage. I think you even put something up about the rib cage, but if you
Mm-hmm.
look at her arm, that's the rib cage right there. That's the spider, the
The
scorpion.
Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, if you lay down on the ground and say I cut your arms and legs off and came back and saw your bones laying there without your head, you'll look just like a matter of fact with your head, you'll look like a big ass spider, bro.
That's facts. Well, and like you said, bro, just had a picture up that bird. Like, shout out Diadeck, you know what I'm saying? May the brother rest in peace.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that right
double-headed
there.
eagle.
Yep, he was talking about how what was his name? The dude Thanos. He had his daughter. She was an android. She was a female android, but she was spread apart, just like that eagle picture right there. Like Drop was saying, the rib is a cage. Like,
The Pillars of
Mhm.
Hercules.
mm-hmm.
I downloaded these because of this. The Pillars of Hercules in the boat. They say the Pillars of Hercules is the entrance and the exit to this realm. And the Pillars of Hercules we know makes electricity, and they use the salt water.
Mm-hmm.
The old world is flooded. So I'm
I'll
thinking,
tell you a
look at this continent I found. Look at this continent called Atlantis, right? What does that look like? It reminds me of Antarctica upside down. That fake continent at the bottom of the globe. It looks just like Antarctica.
Mm.
I'm
Shout out
thinking,
to Mark Basket.
yeah,
You see that in the chat where he said, "What if God is water?" Exactly,
yeah,
Mark.
yeah. I agree. Look at
hey,
the
what
Exactly.
if
pillars.
how many continents in it? What if this is the biggest pseudo reach ever? Say all the continents, right? What is that back and shoulders and tops of head of fallen giants, and we live on the tops of the body?
Mm.
Wouldn't that be insane? That would be nuts.
Yeah,
Matter of
bro.
fact, what if Waterland was a whole bunch of giants that just died on top of each other, Rick? That
You
fell
calling
from
it? Oh,
that
look at
would
that
be
picture.
insane.
You just called it, Drop. You called it because that's what a compilation is or a compile. You know how they talk about say cathedrals and all of that where they paint angels on the top of the ceiling. Yet we know for sure like you can't really make out the picture, but that's what's laying under your feet. A whole bunch of bodies piled up on top of each other. It's like,
What he showing? Go back to that one, Charles. Go
Huh?
back to that
let's
other.
get it.
Go back
This
to that
one?
other picture.
This
Yeah,
one?
that's the
Man,
spider. Yeah, that's the spider too, man. If you typed in a
mm,
spider web, you'll see that exact shit right there.
That's
But
our
anyway,
realm.
go ahead.
That's a 10th
that's
century
fire.
map.
That's why the web is made like that. The
You see the
wind can
T?
the wind can blow a spider web down. A spider web can be up and a tornado would come and it won't blow the spider web down.
That's right. I see you. Hey, you see the T on that spear?
Yeah.
That's literally like that's the boats in the street before the streets today.
And Jesus
The,
holds a
the
ball like
water.
that. With the T like this, the same map he holds in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
The
Cause
golf
look, this
ball.
like woo. That
Damn, the
boy,
T in the
look,
golf ball.
it
T in the
does
goddamn
see.
golf ball. You know how you
Yep,
tee off and you put the golf ball on the tee
that's
and
it.
hit it in the hole in one, the North Pole. And the
It,
ball white,
it does
they
see.
stand on get some black golf balls, they'll kick you out the club.
Yeah.
He got the black ball. Take on black
Yeah,
ball.
blue, red, you can have any color. Go out there with the black ball. You gonna get black ball. I wish Tiger
That's
Woods would have
Africa.
did it one time.
That's Africa, Asia, and Europe. There's no Americas, none of that. No Canada. Well, that is part of the Americas, Canada, but yeah, it's only Asia, Africa, and Europe. These maps are from the 10th century. And it looks like the flat Earth map, but um, this too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what and type in a mix. My bad. I thought you were playing Shane. But when you get a time, just look up a mix them, right? AMIXUM whatever. But it's gonna show you before they was even naming the Americas and all that. Asia, North America, and South America was all the same shit, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like more mean land. That shit don't mean none of the dumb shit them dumb motherfuckers talking about. It means fucking land, and the land was a mix, and then the land was from north. This is why they try to claim everything, because they tried to claim the land. But damn, just look into it, bro. I ain't gonna spoil it for y'all research and shit. But this shit deep as fuck, bro. All this, everybody, a lot of motherfuckers is more. All kind of races is more. It's from
What is it
Asia. It's
called? The
all that
Moors?
a mixum. Matter of
Enigma?
fact, a mixum. AMIX. Let me see.
Enigma, a
IUM.
person or thing that is mysterious, puzzling.
No, it ain't enigma, bro. Hold on, bro.
Yeah, enigma. What does enigma mean? Something hard to understand or explain.
Yes, it's like a conundrum. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying enigma, bro. I'm saying type in land. Type in land of a mixum.
Oh, okay.
AMI. Yeah. AMIX, and it should just start coming in. Moore's land of mixing.
okay. Salutes, Osan Yemi.
Yeah, the Europeans and stealing that name and making America. This shit be matter of fact, I could just post something in things off my channel, bro. That'll be a little easier. Hold on.
Okay,
How do you
respect.
spell it again, Drop? Enigma?
Don't even worry about it. I'm about to just put it. You want me to put it in the chat or the back chat?
Yeah, put it in the back chat.
Yep, or
All
both.
right.
Type it in. I got it ready to go.
No, you ain't gotta type it in. All you gonna have to do is just press on it and shit. Hold on.
Yeah, where did Can of Dummy go, man? He was up here, then he peeled off.
Man, kind of dummy, he do his own thing, bro. He
Hey,
gangster
shout out
too,
to
man.
you though, Wise, because you and Kimber was hitting on some points that make a lot of sense. Like, say, as far as how they talk about people being coming through evolution through monkeys and all of this type of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can touch
That
on
was
that.
Paula. Yeah,
Okay,
that
that
was
wasn't
Paula.
Kimber. I'm sorry.
Now Kimba's in the chat though. Osun Yemi, peace. Yeah,
So
this other guy watches channels. He talks about that. He said that the Ben Ben stone came with flew here on a boat or the Ark of the Covenant or something like that. I don't remember what he said, but he said the stone landed here, and it's what's projecting what people think is God in our mind, and it controlled the monkeys and something like that. I don't know, but I ain't buying that.
Right.
Cool.
I'll let
Bet.
us, do what we doing. We'll touch on it in a second. You
Hey,
got it,
I
man.
put it in. I put it
All
in the
right.
back chat. Yeah, right quick. I might have fucked it up with the music, but the motherfucker sent it to me on my damn messenger on Facebook. So I had to bring it to the people, but it shit fired. Yeah, this
Okay.
dude. If I had the whole video, I could direct y'all to it, but I don't even know where that's at. The dude dropping a whole gem, man. It's got like 2 minutes, maybe. So it's a
Okay.
mix
I'm going to tap in.
about.
Says the
No,
music.
he's about to. Is you able to play it,
Can you play it wide?
Chuck?
Or is it cool?
I can't. I don't have the. Actually, I could play it on my other phone.
Yeah, do it like that. Cause it ain't that graphic, really. But the
Yeah,
point
I
that he
can't. I
made,
don't have the $25 thing. If someone could share, they could play it because it's
uh,
Sir Drops content. But I don't have the means to. I gotta buy the $25 stupid thing.
So I'ma said she going live, so we might have to, bounce back and forth or do a
We could go
collaboration.
over there.
Yeah, I don't know if she's saying, like she share or
You want us to go over there, Salama? We could do that.
yeah, we'll come through. Much respect though to the chat
Yeah, we gotta show love to Salama too. I'll be trying to go over there when she goes live.
all the time. It is
I
what it
tried
is.
to.
We on point. My fault,
My
Wise.
cat is tripping, shooting them. My cat's natural signals are off balance because of this freaking heart, probably.
You said you got a cat with you.
Yeah, she's crying for no reason the last week. I
Mm.
thought she was sick, but she's not. I checked. She just bugs
who
out. She'll
cried?
sit near the window and cry. There's no animals out there, nothing.
What, your dog?
My cat.
He said the cat. You got the cat.
Hey,
Oh
you hear it?
yeah.
Meow is short for meow. Like your cat
That's how
might
they
want
say
to
it.
eat.
That's
What,
greetings in Chinese. Ni hao, mi hao. It sounds like meow. That's the greeting in Chinese. Mi hao.
is it a boy or a
Wow.
girl?
Girl, she's fixed, so I know she ain't pregnant. She don't even go outside.
Yeah, she
No, the
picked.
dog don't get pregnant. She just can't get pregnant. I don't think the cat know it can't get pregnant. I wonder.
Chloe, stop it. Yeah, so Alma probably went live. No, she didn't go live because I would have got a warning, but I don't know if she answered. Let me look.
You said a warning.
She,
I caught that too.
you want us to go? Oh, Native left. I mean, so Alma left. I don't know if she answered.
Right.
She said she's
It'll
going
all
live.
come to a head. Right. I think, like she probably said it just because, we like to make space for each other. I remember Drop saying it like, when the next person go live, I'll just fall back or it's either that or
Real quick.
we'll
Yeah, I
share
gotta
the
go.
Look at that drop.
huh?
It's cool.
You don't give a
Hey,
fuck.
look.
Drop going live whenever.
Oh no, I
Nah, I
ain't shit. I
appreciate
want.
that. Because then we could help show love to all each other. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we could split the
Nah, put
energy.
somebody
Boom.
that if it's somebody that hogs it, like hogs, then I don't care if they live. If they live all the goddamn time. But like, say say Coolest Charles go live. I'll wait. Say I'll wait. But then I ain't gonna wait the second time. I'm just go fucking live. I waited yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I waited yesterday. It's my turn, and I would just do my turn, and then But the people not looking at it like that. I just want everybody to eat, and I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't even like the internet no more. This is why I don't have good content no more. I used to love doing this shit.
Yeah, I got the same energy, man, myself.
Nah, I just be just talking with it. I remember I used to be
Yeah, she
thinking like,
just went
man,
live, y'all. I
uh
told her
oh,
we're about to
uh
come through.
Yeah, we
oh,
keep it
oh.
even.
Wait till then. Wait till then. Hey,
I mean, that's how I look at it. If we
hey,
all stay dealing with each other, that's how we do it.
hey, cool. So here's how we gonna do it. Hey, don't close this down until I'm about to go post the link in your chat, and everybody
All
can
right.
just hit that, and you can just hit the panel over there, and we can continue the phone show. Cool.
All right.
Oh, all right. Let's get it. I'm gonna still be up here as I'm
That
doing
sounds
it.
great.
Man, you're supposed to do it, Mine's Eye. See, Mine's Eye. Yeah, yeah, man. Go get the door. That nigga's crazy. Hold on.
This is stupid. That's my dude.
Who was it?
You said who was it?
Yeah,
What
who
happened?
was it?
Yes, that nigga Wise. Hey, what y'all think though? It's something I want to bring up too.
You might as
You
well
know,
bring it up over there. Hold on. Now I gotta go back to Charles shit. I'm about to post the link, man, so you might as well bring it up over there and shit.
all
Hold
right,
on.
bet.
Y'all niggas, man, see, this what be happening, man. I got too many
What happened, man?
motherfucking, I got too many, like, notifications and shit from, like, too many.
Phone lit up, huh? Where you go? Drop your mic. We don't hear you.
Yeah, what happened? Drop. Don't tell me drop got dropped. Chloe, I just said you psychosomatic.
Uh-oh. Not the
My cat is.
psychosomatic. Damn.
Yeah,
So
my cat's bugged
you
out.
wake up, your cat be in your face like purring and shit, huh?
Yeah.
That's an active cat. Go
4
ahead, drop.
a.m. 4 a.m., bro. My cat knows when I get up. She'll sit outside my door or jump on the bed and wake me up.
Mm. Yeah. Like say, what I want to bring up we can put the cat in that too. Yeah. Whether we bring it up over here or over there, it's gonna be interesting. So I can't wait to talk about this with y'all real quick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be
Hey, dig
happy.
this. Hey,
What's that
I
drop?
put it in, I put it in the chat and shit. Cool. Somebody in the chat just hit the,
Shit.
you alright?
Okay, I see it. I'm about to tap into it. So how
What
we
is?
doing this? I see y'all over there on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I'm about to go over there too.
Okay,
Alright, so
respect. Why?
say what you
That's
was
the
about to say.
that's Alama's link.
Nah,
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah, that's the
All right.
show. Got the
I'll
link
check
in the
everybody
chat.
over there, man. Um,
Cool.
Yeah, I'm about to close this right now. Peace to everybody. Thanks for coming through, and I'll see y'all. Salamas.
Respect.
So I was like, man, y'all some corny